Alright guys, what's up? I hope you're doing good. I got replays for you, and I think they're going to drop a new patch soon, so I want to get through these replays before the replay files kind of become out of date. So let's check that out. I'm going to start with a couple games of my own, but I've got a lot of other games on tap from other people in the community who sent stuff to me, so thank you to everyone who has sent stuff. Let's get on with it. So first up, I want to feature a couple of Dwarf games. I think the Dwarf matchup, it's always been a tricky one for Dark Elves. I do think it's a pretty even matchup. It's not impossible for the Dark Elves, but the Dwarf's shooting can certainly be a problem for the Dark Elves. How's it going, Nameless? Good to see you. So let's go over some rosters here. So what do I have? I'm playing Dark Elf in this matchup. I've got Shades in the back. We've got Dark Shards over here. And then I've got another unit of Shades. I'm rocking Malekith on his Chariot, which I think is an underused tool. Malekith on his Chariot is really good in certain matchups, and I strongly recommend it. I also got a couple Death Hags. I find the Death Hags, they do alright against Dwarf heroes, particularly against Runesmiths. Sometimes Assassins are a bit whiffy because they don't have very good AP. For some reason, it seems like the Death Hags are able to dish it out okay against the Runesmiths. I don't know, I just like them. And they're not too costly. So yeah, in terms of the Dwarf build, what does he have? He's got Longbeards with great weapons. He's got a Runesmith over here with the Master Rune of Wrath and Ruin, or sorry, Rune of Wrath and Ruin. He's got another Runesmith on the other flank with the same thing, and then the Rune Lord with again the Master Rune of Wrath and Ruin. So he's got 12 snares between his Rune Lords. So early on, I'm actually going to start chopping them up a little bit here with these repeater bow throwers. And I'm going to go into, what is this, a unit of Longbeards with the two Hags and Malekith. And that seems to be going okay for me. On the other hand, on the other side, I take a unit of Blasting Charges. Sorry, I take a load of Blasting Charges from the Miners into the Dark Shards. By the way, Nameless, I am going to showcase your games against Six Path later on. But yeah. The Dark Shard's also going to take some smackage here from more Blasting Charges from the Miners and from the Iron Breakers. So basically the right flank is collapsing, but left flank's going okay. Looks like we were able to just about take out this Runesmith over here with the two Death Hags and Malekith as well. Just causing some business. I'm trying to buy my shooting as much time as I can before they kind of get run over here. The Dark Riders they were deployed in Vanguard. They were able to tag some of the units in the back and sort of distract him a little bit. One unit shattered pretty quickly, I think. I don't know if it's the Iron Breaker. I don't know if it's the Iron Drakes or whatever, but they're gone. The other unit, they've gotten their pointy sticks, I guess, into the Rangers, and they're giving a little smackaroo. Actually, it looks like they're actually winning that fight. I wasn't sure if they'd be able to pull it off, but yeah, one charge, and it looks like they were able to break the Rangers. Meanwhile, Malekith, he's just interrupting these Miners with Blasting Charges, or, well, without them now, because I guess they've used their charges, and interrupting the Iron Drakes with the Chill Wind just to prevent them from melting his face, because he was very low on HP here. That little bit of disruption was just enough time for me to get my Bleak Swords in there, and also my two Death Hags. So we've got the one Death Hag going in on the Rune Lord. The second Death Hag's going to join him. See if they can take him down. Dark Shards are also shooting in, but Rune Lord's pretty tanky. Shades are online. They're both shooting. This Rune Lord is pushing into the Dark Shards on the far flank, and he's going to just be a nuisance and muck them up and basically prevent them from shooting what I want them to shoot, which is the Longbeards with great weapons. Both Thor crews are going to have to drop off here. Balance bar is in the favor of my opponent at this point in time, but I do feel like the center pocket is starting to be secured, and I do drop a fat Soul Stealer here from Malekith, which should be, I think that's a Soul Stealer. I do see the circle here, unless that's the Runesmith, but I'm going to be looking to get the Soul Stealer as soon as I can to try and get Malekith's health back up, because that will pull the balance bar pretty heavily there. So he does get hit with another snare here as he was trying to make his way over to the Miners, but I do think even with the snare, he'll probably be able to catch up to them. I don't know. We'll see. Death Hag just died over here, I guess, trying to fight the Rune Lord. And there's a second Death Hag who was able to, I guess, chip him down. So, yay for the Death Hag. Iron Breakers are screening out these Dark Riders. They're taking a couple of satchel charges, but mostly they're juking them, which is kind of nice. And over here, Rune Lord Sim Story, he's pushing into the Dark Shards while the other units try and shoot them as they retreat. Death Hag is going to go after him like a brave little B-I-A-T something. And this could be a fight to the death over here. Go Death Hag. Is she gonna finish him off? Oh, what a boss! Look at that Death Hag doing work on a sliver of health, and Runelord just getting chopped up here. So I think at this point the game is pretty much mine. So yeah, but I wanted to showcase this build because it was a very different game than I was expecting from the Dwarfs. You know, usually Dwarfs have some artillery, they've got Thunderers, Slayers, and this was a very different style of Dwarf build. Against certain things, maybe it could have been really good, but fortunately, I think Malekith gave me a lot of options in that particular fight. So let's go on to the next one. I've got like 20 replays here, so buckle up. And there's so many replays. There's lag when I want to scroll down and see the next game. Okay, so this one is against another Dwarf player. Xael. He's about 50, ranked 50 on the leaderboard when I played him. I don't know where he's at now. And I wanted to try an Orska game against Dwarfs just to mix it up. So I know Dwarfs, they tend to have problems with chariots. I figure trolls are alright because Dwarfs generally lack mobility. And so what you can do with the trolls is you can kind of, and also with the werekin, you can kind of charge in there, take some damage, fall back, heal up, and then go back in again. And the Dwarfs don't really have anything to deal with that unless they have a cannon and you happen to be in range of the cannon. You're pretty much good to just cycle charge them and get that full heal, which is nice. In terms of our front line, very basic, just Marauders with great weapons. I left the Famir at home, and that's it. Yeah. Oh, is it Norse controls? Yeah, Norse controls. Pretty good AP, 100 weapon strength with AP is very nice. I know the stone trolls are absolutely boss against Dwarfs now if you do play greenskins, but the Norse controls I guess they're like the OG. Well, they're not the OG trolls, but they're still able to do what they need to do here. So we got cannons on the Dwarfs, Iron Drakes, which is actually like a really good counter to troll play with the fire damage and the leadership debuff that comes along with that. Got more cannons over here. Thunderers, 2 units of Thunderers I think is a staple for most Dwarf players. I would put them more in box formation unless you think you're going to be trading shots because it allows you to rotate a little bit faster. Early on, he's harassing me with his gyrocopters. I got the Marauder Horsemen, not the Masters, Horsemen. Just trying to pitch some shots at them, but I don't even think these... Oh yeah, these ones do have AP, but I mean, they're wusses. They don't like this. A couple steam shots, and they're probably going to run away. Look, they're already down to half HP. So, I mean, that's probably my best counter to them, and they're just getting melted. But I didn't bring a lot of anti-air shooting. I think, actually, is that my only unit? No, I've got others here. I've got cheeky ones in the Vanguard. So Marauder Horsemasters are sneaking up here and in the back while he's busy microing the gyrocopter. So he's probably pretty happy he tagged my Marauder Horsemasters, got those off the field pretty quickly. Why wouldn't you be, right? I'm going to fast forward a little bit here. Maybe that's too fast. So here we go. Skinwolf Werekin. He's going to go in here, try and interrupt these miners with blasting charges, because if I can get them to ball up around my Werekin and then charge in, then I don't have to take the satchel charges to the face, which is always nice. Cannon's not too happy about that. Neither is Felix. Felix going over there to deal with the Werekin, and cannon shots are hitting me in the face. But I've got a little window of opportunity here with my Marauder Horsemen, or at least I thought I did, until this Rune of Wrath and Ruin just smacked him in the face, and now they're going to take shots, which they can't really do anything about. So the Thunderers are matching them. I'm hoping their leadership is just going to hold on here, but he only has one copy of Wrath and Ruin, so that means I was able to tag the cannons on the other side, which is fortunate. But this unit's gone. So that just shows you the power of the Wrath and Ruin. These guys didn't even make contact. The chariot over here is getting into position. The front lines are moving up to engage. And over here, the Werekin has done a fantastic job of just mucking stuff up. These Thunderers have been kind of balled up, and then to go deal with the Werekin, the Longbeards got thrown in there. But all of this clumping has really given me some opportunities to, well, first of all, the Marauder Horsemen were able to take out the cannon. And yeah, I mean, I was able to get in a charge here with the Marauders. I don't know. It was just nice. And now look at the Thunderers. They're struggling to reposition. So this unit of Thunderers, they've been able to kind of do what they want, but the other one's been like just struggling to get the real estate that it needs. Over here we've got the Dwarf Warriors coming out to meet me with the Marauders with great weapons, but I am finding some opportunities here to slip the gap. And if I was on top of my micro, I would have pushed through these chariots into the Thunderer line a little bit faster. They are taking a lot of shots there, and I do lose a chariot right off the Thunderer shooting pretty quickly. So I do think I am trying to force path here, but dwarves are thick, and yeah, it does take a lot to kind of push through them. So I was not able to push through right there, but Marauder Horsemen, they're just interrupting the shooting. I know they're going to probably lose most of these fights, but they're buying me a lot of time, and that's just so important as a North Scout, to just to have the time to get to where you need to be. Steam cannons shooting in on the trolls, I think that's a mistake. I think the steam cannons would be better used on the Marauders with the great weapons to just shut down my front line. The trolls, they're kind of like monstrous infantry, sort of individual type entities. Actually, the steam cannon by chance is hitting the Marauder Horsemen, doing a lot more work there. But these are going to hurt. The flames on the Norse controls, they do have weakness to fire damage because of the regen, and you can see also the leadership debuff is almost insta-routing the trolls, so that's super painful. I've been pushing up my Marauder Chieftain. He's going to get in here, probably dust it up with the Rune Lord at some point in time. The Rune Lord has been used to interrupt the Marauder Chariots to great effect. It looks like I do have a unit of Norskin trolls in the background that I do need to get back into the fight at some point in time. I think they are being shot by the cannon right now, though, so that's kind of rough. Over here we've got kind of a slugfest between the great weapons, Longbeards, my poor Werekin, who's been largely a sacrificial wolf, not a sacrificial lamb, a sacrificial wolf, and just getting beaten down, but also just hanging in there tough. The Chariots, they've been trying the whole game to get into these bloody unit of Thunderers. They keep getting hit with Wrath and Ruin and Wrath and Ruin and Wrath, but finally I'm able to get some real estate here and shut down this second unit of Thunderers. That first unit of Thunderers has been occupied by my Marauder Chieftain and the trolls, so that's nice. But Felix is still healthy. He's full HP, and he's trying to be a nuisance over here. I am going to get a chariot into the cannon. But yeah, very much a grind out type of game. Dead even right now, slightly in favor of my opponent. But the Marauders with great weapons are doing work on these Longbeards. They are chipping them down, trading cost effectively. And I'm able to shut down one of the cannons here with the Marauders with great weapons. So very, very close game. The Iron Drakes are going to get shut down here by the Chariots. And yeah, all in all, not too bad. Werekin, he's taking a beating, but he's regrouped, and he's going to come back for more. I think the Gyrocopter was heading over there to try and chase him off, and maybe he will succeed. We will see. Yeah, Rune Lord and Marauder Chieftain getting into it here. I fast forward maybe a little bit because I've got so many replays to get through. Thunder is taken offline. Big dust up between the Chieftain and the Rune Lord, which seems to be going in favor of the Chieftain. Rune Lord's going to kite that as best he can. Running over to Felix, not a bad choice. But yeah, far side mostly secure. Gyrocopter trying to take the Skinwolf Werekin. Iron Drake's still locked up, not getting any real estate. But now that Felix is here, it's a lot dicier to go after that Rune Lord. Felix does have pretty good foot speed, I think. Let's see, 34 to the Chieftains. Well, it's 9 right now because he got hit with the Wrath and Ruin, which made the Rune Lord escape basically. But yeah, it's kind of a game of cat and mouse here. I'm trying to tag the Rune Lord. Felix is trying to tag me. And he's got this Wrath and Ruin, which he pops on me from time to time. And Felix can win that fight against the Marauder Chieftain. He does have a bonus for infantry. And yeah, he's got some good tools there. And I kept my Chieftain pretty stock. So it's rough. I'm going to use the Skinwolf Werekin to try and tie these Gyrocopters in place. And fortunately, I'm able to tag them with the Norskin Ice Trolls. So Rune Lord's now routing. Ice Trolls beating up the Gyrocopters. Starting for the first time in this match, I'm starting to feel pretty good about the situation. The Thunderers are off the field. Gyrocopters are out of ammo, so it's really Felix against the world at this point. And he's going to go hard, but that's probably going to be it. Jai's going to dive down here. Jai was trying to snipe out my Marauder Chieftain, but I was aware of that. And every time they land, I would try and screen with the trolls, or yeah, just use their mass to kind of get the gyrocopters and Felix off of me. Felix tank's really crazy though. I mean, look at all this stuff that was around Felix, and he just sent it all packing. That's 2 units of Marauders, 2 units of Ice Trolls, and my Chieftain. Felix was just like bye to all of that. I had like a mini panic attack when that happened, but then I was able to kill his ground forces, and with only Felix on the ground and very little ammo left in the gyrocopter, that pushed the balance of power, and that was it. So well played to Zale. That was a cool build. Felix Rune Lord is definitely a competitive pick. I like the gyrocopter play. I don't think this one cannon, you didn't get any use out of that. And I think you probably could have cut a unit of Longbeards for a unit of Slayers or 2. I mean, Slayers are so good. And if you're playing Dwarfs, I don't know why you wouldn't want to bring at least 1 unit of Slayers. I mean, they would have given him a really good answer to a lot of that Chariot play. So that's it for the Dwarf games. I'm going to go into... No, I'm not going to... I can show that game, but I'm going to focus on... I want to showcase one with Skaven versus... so much for that, say, for the Dwarf games. We got Skaven versus Dowie. So this one is featuring Nameless versus Sixpath. If you watch this channel, you probably know both of these players very well. So they played 2 games. One game, Sixpath played the Dwarves, and Nameless played Skaven, and the other game, Nameless played the Dwarves, and Sixpath played Skaven. So let's show the games. These are games now, Nameless. All right, so first off, we have a couple of gyrocopters up in the air. Thane number 1, Thane number 2, and Rune Lord. We've got Wrath and Ruin, and is it Wrath and Ruin? Yeah, Wrath and Ruin, the ward save, and the Thanes are both stock. So yeah, I'm going to show both games, Nameless. I thought they were both great. We've got Dwarf Warriors across the front line. In the back, some miners with blasting charges, which is a little atypical. Usually I see the miners with blasting charges in the front line, so a little bit of a deviation there. Iron Breakers also in the back line. So yeah, maybe the idea is to pitch the blasting charges over the heads of the Dwarf Warriors. Different strat. We'll see how that goes. Avalanche Mortars are in the back here. We've got the gyrocopters taking a beating from these Warpfire Throwers. So very surprise pick, I would say, from Skaven to bring the Warpfire Throwers against the gyrocopters. And they are doing really good damage here. I mean, these guys, 127 missile strength is really high. And even against all that armor, it seems to be able to screen them off. Of course, the gyrocopters, they don't have the best range in the world, only 75, and these guys have got a range of 80. So, I mean, it's not the best, but man, that's a lot of damage. Let's take a look on the front line engagement, though. Avalanche Mortars raiding in on the Quarrelers, doing a lot of damage here. We've got the Plague Priest taking shots from the Quarrelers as well. And in the back, the Goblovers are putting a beatdown on the Avalanche Mortars. So it's 2 units of, Poison Wind Mortars. So we got Avalanche Mortars and Poison Wind Mortars. Maybe they should have focused down the Avalanche Mortars first. I think they are more costly than the Poison Wind Mortars, but correct me if I'm wrong there. We've got the Dwarf Warriors on the flank. Dwarf Warriors here. And the Skaven Slaves and other chaps are going to push up to deal with them. Hellpit Abominations going in toe-to-toe with the Dwarven leadership. And this is a hell of a fight. 2 Thanes plus the Rune Lord fighting it out with the Hellpit. Hellpit is tanky, and Skaven have brought Queek and the Eshin Sorcerer. They're going to go fight them. Let's take a look at the kit on the Eshin Sorcerer. So I think we're seeing Brittle Bone, and I forget what that other spell is there. It's been a minute, but anyway, looks like Queek is... I mean, Queek was the original sort of Deathmaster Snitch on the Skaven roster. He was the guy who you used if you wanted to kill the Dwarf Lord. I think Snitch probably does that job as well or better now than Queek, but Queek is trying to prove that he still exists, I guess. Skinslave Spears are going to wrap around the back and pressure that back line. The Gyrocopters are still online, but the Warpfire Throwers have been hounding them and sort of taking up the real estate that they would otherwise be able to take. Queek has lost about 25% HP. Runelord is down about 30% HP. Balance bar is really even right now. Both of the Thanes are healthy though. And the Plague Priest has lost about 30% HP. Gyrocopter's about half ammo. And yeah, it's way too early to call this game. Clan Rats are pushing around the back. Goblobber still online, and it's almost finished off this Poison Wind Mortar crew, but man, it's taken them a long time. I don't know if that was the best target for all the shots that they used. Because they're kind of spread out, those Poison Wind Mortars. I don't know. But yeah, Nameless on top of his micro. He drops the crew off of there before they get tagged by the Skaven Slave Spears. Honestly, the Quarrelers could probably just fight the Skaven Slave Spears in melee and win. I mean, they're Skaven Slave Spears. Gyrocopters are falling away. So what I found is a decent option with the Gyrocopters. Send one into melee and then get the other ones to shoot. So that way you can shoot and then the Warfire throwers can't shoot back. That would be my recommendation over there. But whatever. I mean, dead even. Super close game. Plague Priest over here trying to interrupt things. Still around 40% HP. Help Hit Abomination so low on HP. It's been shot. It's been hounded by the Thanes. He gets one charge in there. The Thane unfortunately was not able to sort of like brace himself. Because if he could get in one hit here, I mean, Help Hit's on 960 HP. He got 400 weapon strength. That's like 2 swings of the axe and that guy's probably down. Maybe 3. But he gets punted, and then he gets hit by a Warfire thrower, and then the Help Hit Abomination gets a huge proc of HP. And before you know it, a situation that was like sort of looking in favor of the Dwarfs is now like, it's pretty like 50-50. It's dicey, let's say. Creek is down to about 30% HP. But yeah, now it's really a fight to the finish. The Dwarf leadership is in here, but they don't have much in the way of support. Just these Equine Miners here, but Equine Miners are being shot by the Warpfire throwers. If the Equine Miners run away, there's no bodies around the Dwarf leadership. And yeah, the Help It is kind of just like playing bully ball on the Dwarf Thanes and preventing them from really sticking Queek or really getting a full surround in on any of the targets of value, whether it's the Sorcerer or the Help It. And it puts a lot of pressure on the Dwarf player to kind of make a decision, like, do you go after the leadership of Skaven, which is always a good choice, or do you try and finish off the Help It, because you don't know like how many chances you're gonna have to kill the Help It, because the Help It can always just like, you know, walk away and heal up, and it takes so much effort and resources to bring it down the first time. To bring it down the second time can be brutal. So yeah, interesting choice there. Help Hit Abomination is known as an anti-large specialist with that anti-large damage, but I mean he can smash up the dwarves pretty well too, just with his mass and his weapon strength. So just because something is anti-large doesn't necessarily mean that it has to be used against the anti-large. Fast forward a little bit now, because you can see the dwarf leadership is pretty much in tatters, and I think Six Path should be able to kind of take it the rest of the way here. These poor gyrocopters, man, they're shooting in on the Hell Pit Abomination. They've been trying to take him out, but I think those gyrocopter steam guns, they do much better against sort of massed infantry than sort of individual entities, just because of the way that the explosion damage works on the gun. And it just took them too long to bring the Hell Pit down. So yeah, I mean, super well played to both players. I do want to go to the end screen though, because I just want to give you guys a chance to look at their builds one last time. Because I'm going to show the opposite, where Nameless plays the Skaven and Six Path plays the Dwarf. So this is Six Path's build against Dwarf. He goes with the Queek, Eshin Sorcerer, and the Plague Priest, and it worked out pretty well. The Hell Pit was definitely a monster, and these Warpfire Throwers, they were like unsung heroes. I mean, the drawback of Warpfire Throwers is they have shitty range, right? But the Dwarfs don't have the best foot speed, so I mean, you can actually get in some shots with them. And I tend to think of Warfire Throwers as specialists against Undead, but it looks like they were able to do some pretty good work here against Dwarfs. And Nameless, very well played. I think it was just kind of bad luck on that big proc with the Hell Pit. I mean, the game could have gone either way if the Hell Pit were to draw it there. All right, so second game here. We got Nameless now playing the Skaven, going up against Six Path playing the Dwarfs. So they played 2 games. This is game number 2 of the matchup. I'm showing it in the order that they were played. So now Six Path is playing Dwarf. He's bringing the Dwarf Engineer. He's got the Runesmith and Belagar Ironhammer. He's also got some Iron Drakes. a lot of Iron Drakes actually. He's bringing the fire again because it worked with him for Skaven, so why not try it with Dorf, right? 3 units of fire spitters. He's got Belagar, yeah, like I said, and he's also opting to go with the gyrocopters. I do think it's a good choice against Skaven because it gives you the option to potentially go after the Death Runners, and I mean, a lot of things. It gives you a bit of mobility too, which can be very helpful. But yeah, I mean, Nameless has got Giselles, man. He's got 3 units of Giselles, and look at the work that they're putting in on these gyrocopters. 2 units of Giselles have already deleted a gyrocopter before the gyrocopter even read the front line. So, yeah, maybe 6-pass micro is being taxed there. He's got like 3 units, but it's rough. Don't forget, these ones are stealth, though, the Natty Boobos, so he probably didn't see them there. He probably just saw the 2 units of Giselles, and he thought, okay, maybe not such a threat, but that one got melted, shattered immediately, didn't even get used. Second one almost off the field, so that is a big, big win for Skaven. But here come the Dawi. They're going to push up with an extra grudge under their belt, I guess. Is this one going to shatter? I mean, not quite. They still have all 3 unit models. They're going to push out, and they get just outside of range there of the Giselles. So they're probably going to rally, and Giselles had to shoot at something else. Now, they go after the Iron Drakes over here, it looks like. Skaven Leadership Corps is right in the middle. We've got Deathmaster Snitch, the Assassin, and the Essence Sorcerer. And I think those are excellent choices against Dorf. Snitch is... I think he is arguably the strongest Skaven Lord right now. I mean, I think him and Skrulk are neck and neck for the best Skaven Lord, but you know, against Skaven, their weakness is if they lose their leadership, everything routes off the field, and having a stealth Lord can be super, super valuable. As long as you still have, you know, enough bodies on the field. If you do bring the Ashen Sorcerer, you're not going to have the summons that you normally get from a Plague Priest or from Skrulk, so you are a little bit thinner. It's a very different style of play for Skaven, and I did really like that DLC for Skaven because it gave them a different flavor of play styles, which just made it much more fun to play against Skaven. We got Giselles in the back, still shooting in here. I think they're having a little bit of a hard time, you know, hitting the targets that they want. Leadership Corps is about to push up. I think they're going after Snitch. I'm not sure, but this guy's sneaky. I do want to point out this Dwarf Engineer, Master Engineer, he's taking pot shots at Deathmaster Snitch, and I don't think Nameless is aware of that, but he's going to chip him down over time. And if we just watch his HP chip down here, let's see how much damage per shot he's doing here. Oh, he just looked away to shoot at something else. I think he decided to shoot at the Rat Ogres. Maybe Snitch got out of range, or maybe he just started stealthing, and this guy was on fire at will. But from what I recall, he was doing about 500 damage a shot, which is not bad against Snitch because he doesn't have the highest HP pool. Major leadership fight in here. We got Runesmith, Belagar, Snitch, and Ashen Sorcerer. But here comes the second Assassin, and that's going to change the odds pretty good. So now you got a 2-on-1 against Belagar. And kind of a wash, I guess, between the Ashen Sorcerer and the Rune Smith. Belagar is very tanky. He is very strong defensive lore, but Snitch is Snitch, and Assassin is Assassin. And that's not going to be a fight that goes the Dwarf's way. Giselles are still here. We got Globeteers. I don't know, just little stuff on the periphery, not doing too much. We've got Death Squad are just mulching these Dwarf Warriors over here, and at this point, I think it's pretty heavily in favor of Skaven, and I do think this is a matchup that favors Skaven. Yeah, the leadership battle's gone heavily in favor of Skaven, and I think that these matchups showcased it. I mean, you got two kind of evenly matched players here. Maybe they will debate that, but in both cases, Skaven came out on top. So yeah, but I always think it's a fun little brain teaser to see if you can win with the underdogs. I do consider the Dwarfs to be the underdogs in this matchup. So thank you for those games. Those were super fun. And now we're going to go on to a game with Z Melon playing the Lizardmen, going up against Von Modi as the Dwarfs. So many Dwarf games. Man, I got to call this the Dwarf stream, I guess. I don't know. But what do we have? Croxagores, the AP Skinks, Saurus, Ripperdactyls, which is a fun unit, and is that the Croxagore Ancient, I believe? Or Nakai. It's Nakai. And then Miners on the side. Yeah, I should point out Nameless is a Skaven main, so he was more than comfortable playing Skaven in the matchup against Dowie, and he certainly showcased how that is a strong matchup for Skaven. Alright, so Dowie, Iron Drakes with Trollhammer torpedoes. I guess they figure against lizards there's going to be some large, so why not bring the Trollhammers? I've never been sold on this unit, because you only got 21 unit models, and they're expensive. Like, I'm just like, if you can bring Thunderers, why would you bring the Trollhammer torpedoes? There are people who swear by them, but I'm a Thunderer guy myself. I feel like there's nothing that the Iron Drakes with Trollhammers can't, that they can do that the Thunderers can't. And the Thunderers are just cheaper, they got more range, and they got more bodies. But hey, let's not judge too hastily. So they're going to shoot in here. I think they're shooting at the Bastillon Reviv Crystal, which is definitely a priority target. Z-Melon's going to try and slip the gap here with these Redcasted Skinks, use their foot speed to push right through. And Nakai is not messing around. He's going right in the middle. But that's a bit dangerous, man, unless you're going to get heals. 2 units of Trollhammer torpedoes are able to shoot in at him. He's already lost half of his HP off that first charge. Very brave, and now he's rampaging, kind of to make matters worse. But the Ripper Dactyls are going to go in here. They took, I think, one volley and just shredded that unit down to half HP. They are wavering, and this is a major fight, because if they break off, then all of a sudden you got Trollhammer torpedoes shooting in at Nakai. Nakai would probably be finished, but they hang on with just enough leadership here. But not for long. Here come the Slayers. They're going to tag them in the back. They're going to break off, but enough time has been bought for the Cult of Sotek to get in there. The other Red Crested Skinks, and these guys are going to go in here on the Dwarf Warriors. Very even fights over here. Front line going very well. Back line is, I would say, going very poorly. The Bastillon Reviv Crystal is running away. It will probably rally and come back to heal and save the day. We will keep our eyes focused on this. Grombrindle has popped Have No Fear, so this unit that was wavering over here is going to go up to full HP, and it's going to buy just that much more time. And Grombrindle is in here going up against Nakai, and poor Nakai, he is having a rough day here. He's not getting any support heals from the Bastillon Reviv Crystal, and I do think Grombrindle is going to finish him off. So yeah, I question bringing Nakai against Dwarf. I would think Gorak would be more your man if you want to go with sort of a large Croxigor, but I don't know. What do I know? Pharaoh Manticore taking out the Trollhammer torpedoes. That tear is coming into effect. And it breaks them just before the Manticore disintegrates, which is good news for Z-Melon. Bounce Bar very much in favor of Doris. We'll see if Z-Melon can pull it back. Over here, we've got the Bastillon Reviv Crystal looking for some real estate here. Slayers are going to be screening him off, but they're going to be counter-screened by the Skink Cohort. And both of these are pretty speedy units. Skink Cohort's 46 speed, Slayers 30 speed. But the Aquatic also kicking into effect here. They are fighting in the water, and that's going to help out the Skinks. Bastillon Reviv Crystal going to get back here to the safety of the Croxivores. Maybe pop a heal. Amazingly, Nakai did rally. He's not dead yet. He probably wants to just go to safety, I would think. I mean, the Dwarf Engineer could just snipe him off the map, and he's kind of walking into range of the Dwarf Engineer right here. I don't know if he realizes that. The Dwarf Engineer could probably two-hit him. 232 HP. Here comes Dwarf Engineer. He's shooting him. We'll see if he's able to tag him. Is he paying attention to that? I don't know. He's got the Skink Priest over here. He's probably popped both of his Manticore summons. Balance Bar very in favor of Dwarf right now. But the Reviv Crystal is hustling over here to heal Nakai. But Nakai is running in range of the Dwarf Engineer. That's why I think you should always have firing arcs turned on, because he should have been able to see that he was in range. Amazingly, I don't know if the Dwarf Engineer has had one too many beers, but he's not landing shots, I don't think. And a heal goes off, so clutch play there for the Bastillon. Nakai's going to run away again, but it doesn't matter because the heal went in there. Well, it doesn't matter. It does matter. But the heal got in, and I think that should help. But I do think there's a leadership penalty if your Lord is fleeing. And these Source Warriors are wavering. Grombrindle is very healthy, as is the Engineer. Bastillon's going to get in here, but Have No Fear is down, and that means the Dwarf Warriors are going to Terror Route over here. So what do we have? Slayers. Very few Slayers left. Source Warriors. 40 Source Warriors against 17 Slayers in Grombrindle. That's a cost-effective situation for the Swords Warriors so long as they don't flee. I do think Grombrindle's sort of a specialist against individual entities. He is going to struggle a little bit more against mass infantry. Croxiger is going to shut down the shooting, and Balance Press creeping back for the Lizardmen. If Nakai can get healed, they still got a shot. Skink Priest getting wrapped up over here. I think he's probably out of wins at this point. I think he was mostly here to summon those two Manticores. Manticores are down. Okay, cool. I'm down to cast with HW sometime. Sure. I don't know if I'm supposed to contact him or he's supposed to contact me or whatever, but he's a good dude. So Bastille and a Reviv Crystal going to work over here. Got Nakai. He's just hanging on to this, like with the skin of, well, he doesn't have skin, with the scales of his teeth. Skin of his teeth is the expression, I think, but I don't know. What do I know? Red Crested Skinks are going to get a nice recharge in here, and the Cruxmores, let's check in on their kill count. 78 kills. They're just splashing on pretty much everything now. Just Dwarf Warriors with great weapons left, but they're screaming out run and shunning and all this stuff. What was that? Oh, that's the iron. That's the Master Engineer's iron ring over here, the ruby ring. You don't see that very often, so it surprised me a little bit there. I think it's best against lightly armored targets. I don't think it's going to do too much against the Saurus, and I don't think it did there, but it was neat to see. Hey, Nakai, what's up, man? He's in here with his Saurus Warriors, rampaging against Grombrindle. Grombrindle, if he's not screened out by the Saurus Warriors, he could probably just turn around and like two-hit Nakai. So yeah, that was a scary situation there, I think, for Z Melon. But Grombrindle doesn't have that that special axe. I forget what it is. The one that drops leadership and just gives him a lot of AP. So all he's got the snare and the foe seeker. So a little bit of a safety net for Nakai. Granted, not much, but yeah. Z Melon balls to the wall here. He's going right in here on Grombrindle. He senses victory here. He's got the full surround, and I guess he's willing to roll the dice that Nakai is going to potentially die from the swing of the axe from Grombrindle. We'll see how that pans out. Nakai is down to 20 kills. He's been used like really suicidally, I would say, in this game in many cases, but because of the Reviv Crystal, he's been bailed out, and there it goes again. That's another pop. And you can see he's already, he's pushing that healing bar to infinity and beyond, as Buzz Lightyear would say. By the way, that's a thing, space lizardmen. Because the Slines have a whole thing with the space, and I see a lot of people who play tabletop, they paint up their lizardmen with a space theme, with speckled paints and stuff like that. But yeah, Master Engineer, he's getting the old clubbing, and I think Z Melon's got it here. I mean, what's left on the field for the Dwarves? You got two Dwarf Warriors. I mean, I think the Dwarf player just forgot about these guys. If he brought them back, he would have been okay, I think. But yeah, the Grombrindle getting full surrounded, just chipped down, and no access to heals. He kind of got ground out over time. So the win for Z Melon, I'm calling it now. I kind of want to go to the end screen, make it official, but yeah, there you go. Good game, Z. Thanks for sending me that replay. Look at these Trollhammer torpedoes. 6 kills, 12 kills. Are they worth it? I don't know. They got one volley off to Ripperdactyls, half HP'd out, one volley into Nakai, and after that I think they were shut down pretty much the whole game because of their really stubby range, So like, I don't know, Thunderers, guys. That's where it's at. All right, now we got a shit ton of games from Six Path. Game here against QSA. Fly on the Bread. Playing Lizardmen. Six Path playing Dark Elves. Black Dragon. I'm in love. I never see that unit used because it doesn't have heals. And he's got chevrons too. So yeah, this is a very typical elite type of build that Six Path likes to run as Dark Elves. I think he's got like 14 unit cards if I count it correctly. Although Lizardmen are quite elite as well. They do have the Saurus Scar Veteran, they've got the Slann Mage Priest of Life, 2 units of Cold Spear Riders, and Temple Guard ×2, which are also like pretty elite stuff. So we're gonna see how this goes. But a Black Dragon, let's see how it pans out against the Temple Guard. I think it could be kind of in its element if it can drop some fat dragon breasts on these guys. In terms of anti-air shooting, we're not seeing the what is it called? Salamander hunting packs, which is Dark Elf player. That's the unit I fear the most on the Lizardman roster. And we're not seeing the Bastillodons like the solar engines either. It was just a little bit of a surprising Lizardman roster, let's say, not to see any of those against the Dark Elves, and that can be very punishing. Interestingly, the Dragon Breath is going to go into cohort of Sotek right off the bat. Just some pretty good damage. So a 650 gold unit with light armor, and it killed about 20 unit models. They are fast on their feet, so they did dodge a lot of that breath. Probably, if it were me, I would have tried to take the Temple Guards instead, because they're just more expensive. And yeah, I would have liked to get those halberds off the field early, but Black Dragon's gonna get tagged by the Sword Scarvet. I don't know if it's worth it. Dragon did a bit of damage to the skink cohort. Skinks are not the highest leadership troops in the world, so if you do a little bit of damage early on, increases the chances that you're going to be able to terror out them later. You don't necessarily have to kill every single skink model. Miles Darkblade on foot. I'm going to go in here with the Skaven Assassins, lock up the cohort of Sotek. And another Dragon Breath going to go down here, perhaps? Not quite. He's in position for it. Maybe it's just on cooldown. He's waiting for it to recharge. But yeah, Mage Priest of Light. See, I don't know what the Mage Priest of Light is looking for. I think he's going to try and shadow the Black Dragon, and then when the Black Dragon lands, drop the Net of Amtoxin into the Source Scarvet. If I'm the Lizardman player, that's probably what I'm trying to do. Dark Rider is able to take out some red-crested skinks pretty quickly and efficiently, and they do get in a rear charge on the Cold One Spear Riders. Now, normally the Cold One Spear Riders should be able to win this matchup, but the Cold One Spear Riders have very, very poor melee defense, only 26. So if you get a charge from the Dark Riders, you're going to land a lot of hits. There is a chance. I think these ones can rampage as well. Yeah. So it's just, it's not. I don't know. Both sides are going to take losses over there. Look at this. Look at this Assassin and Black Dragon just punking the crap out of this Slann Priest of Light. I don't think it dropped a single net, which is like super punishing. I don't know if the breath went off there or what, but this is scary for the Black Dragon though. He is going to pay for it. Sword of Scarvet going to tag him in the back. In comes the cavalry, full surround with the Temple Guard. What's the answer here? That's a Purple Sun of Xerius, which just went down. I think it was trying to hit the Temple Guard, but it was sort of cast off to the side, and it looks like mostly it whiffed. So unfortunate for the Dark Elves. That is a lot of Winds of Magic. We've got the Swords kind of plowing through here, but they're getting charged by a lot of things. I did not notice what the Slaanesh Harvesters cast their Worded Pan on. Perhaps on the Sword Scarvet. That's certainly what I would have been trying to cast it on. But who knows? Maybe it was against the other Cav. I'm not sure. They're going to retreat to safety. The Slann Priest of Light is back online, but he doesn't have access to heals because there's no Reviv Crystal anywhere here. Dark Shard's falling back here. And, trying to get what real estate they can, but these two units have been able to kind of chomp up both units of Dark Shards here, but Witch Elves are hot on the job. They're going to rampage these guys. They probably rampage anyways, but they're extra rampaging now because of Madness of Cain. And Slaanesh Harvester is going to get a 9-3 charge and should be able to break these guys. So mobility advantage is starting to push in favor of 6-path. Dread Spears are being used to screen up the Slann Mage Priest and potentially the Chameleon Skinks. Looks like the Chameleon Skinks are going to get charged by them. I guess they were in guard mode. That's a bit awkward. Skinks probably can win versus Dread Spears. I'm not sure. They're a skirmish unit, but Dread Spears kind of iffy stats versus Chameleon Skinks. Skinks are okay in healing. I like the Chameleons. Sword of Scarvet is trying to, I think, eat the Sorceress of Death, but sort of getting mucked up in Dark Shards. He's got crazy attack animations. Like he attacks like a lunatic. I think the Carnosaur has some of the worst attack animations in the game, if not the worst. There's many times I see the Carnosaur just like run right past the target and not do anything. The Cold One also has really bad attack animations. But yeah, they're going after it. Malice is chasing after him. Assassin's been screened up on some skinks, but looks like the Coleman Spear Rider is going to be used as a sacrifice here to allow the Scarva to escape to safety. We do have a scrap between the Slaanesh Harvesters and these guys, but the Temple Guard are in here as well. So in a long run, if they can't break these Coleman Spear Riders quickly, that's going to be very atrocious for the Slaanesh Harvesters. They're going to want to get the hell out of here. But they are able to shatter the Coleman Spear Riders just in the nick of time before they shatter themselves. And yeah, but they lost half a unit off that. That was a really, I don't know, atrocious trade. And over here, Malice is getting his ass smacked around by the Scarva. It's kind of, it's going both ways. Malice is doing a bit of smacking too. I don't think he's popped Zarkon yet. I think he's going to have to consider it soon. I don't know if he's going to have to do it. Assassin's getting run over. Here comes Slaanesh Harvesters. And this Temple Guards, they're kind of reacting now because there's not much mobility left. And here comes Malice. He's going to chase after the Mage Priest of Light. I don't know what he was doing, but he's pretty much done. Balance bar still in favor of Lizards, but here comes Zarkon, and you see how far he pushed that balance bar. Let's see if the Dark Elves can hold on here. I do think they can. They have a lot of resources here. Temple Guard are no pushovers. But if the leadership goes, which it just did, then I think a couple rear charges, full surround here can probably seal the deal. So I'm going to fast forward unless something dramatic happens. And there it is. It's official. 6 path for the win against QSA's Fly on the Bread. Very atypical Lizardmen build from Fly on the Bread there, especially against Dark Elves. Alright, now, what do we have next? A game, Kafka. So Kafka is kind of a friend of mine. He's in the RTK squad. He's been around for a long time. Very good player. He actually beat me in one of the tournaments that I did way back when I did a tournament or two. I was very much a beginner player at the time, but Kafka is anything but. He's a vet. He's been around the block. He's been playing all the Total War games, dating back 10 years or so, maybe longer. So here we go. We got Rogue Idol in the back. We got the Night Goblin Shaman, Black Orc Boss, Grimgords, the Iron Hide. Kafka is bringing a High Beastmaster. Cool stuff. With the Tormentor Sword, of course. That's the whole reason why you bring the Beastmaster, in my opinion. That's the best item in his kit. You've got Ravagers of Karth and the Sorceress of Fire. Slaanesh Harvesters. Big ol' Hydra in the back, some Blackguard. Fairly elite build from Kafka. When he beat me in the tournament, I think I was playing Empire. He just went wide with a bunch of Dread Spears and Dark Shards. Like, he had a very simple build. In this case, he's gone a lot more elite. He's going to use the Fireball to try and snipe out the Goblin the Rock Lobbers, I guess, but it's on a bit of a downslope, and I think they nerfed the accuracy of the Fireball a little bit, so it has a bit more trouble sniping artillery than it used to, and it was not able to connect right there. So yeah, I don't know if it was worth it. 8 Peak Loonies are about to get plowed by a Fireball. Burning Head. Killed half a unit. I don't know. It's 10 wins of magic to kill half a unit of Gobos. I know it's an ROR, but still, I'm not sold. Rogue Idol doing work here on Slaanesh Harvesters. It's already taken out almost half a unit. Meanwhile, the Scourge Runners are shooting in on the skirmish Spider Rider Archers. Kind of an even trade over there. War Hydra is going to get hit by a Gazing Mark from the Night Goblin Shaman. And Slaanesh Harvesters going into the Gobos Spears. Gobos with Spears do not have anti-large, but they do have bodies. Slaanesh Harvesters, they're doing okay here, I guess, but the poison is going to nerf their weapon strength. They do get the better part of that fight, but just a little bit. Beastmaster going to run over some Skulkers. Skulkers going to pop their smoke bombs, I think, before they route. No? Yes? What's the speed at? I don't know if he popped it in time. There it goes. Now speed's down to 25. But yeah, the Beastmaster and the Chariots able to break the Skulkers fairly quickly. Rogue Idol coming over here to react. Here comes Slanesh Harvesters for charge number 2, but the Slanesh Harvesters are charging into Black Orcs, and I think that's possibly the worst place for them to go. Black Orcs have very heavy armor, and Slanesh Harvesters are best when used against A, stuff with physical resist, and B, stuff with lower armor. They don't have great AP, even though their weapon strength is fairly high. And Black Orc's very heavy armor. They're going to be able to shred a lot of that. Dark Elves really balled up here. I'm a little bit surprised to see 4 units going in here against 1 unit of Black Orcs, and Six Path certainly making it pay for that. I think like the catapult is just pitching shot after shot in here against Sisters of Singing Doom. These are, Sisters of Singing Doom cost 1,050 gold if my memory serves correctly. That is not a cheap unit to be getting smashed. Yeah, I don't know. I don't know why he's balling up like this. I'm thoroughly confused and surprised, to be honest. But we'll see. Rogue Idol's in here. It looks like he's able to scare the Hydra away. And the Chariots are idle over here. I think they're shooting the Rogue Idol. They are. All three Chariots are shooting the Rogue Idol. Meanwhile, the Skirmishers are shooting in at the Hydra. Probably I would have tried to snipe the Sorceress of Fire. Yeah, but I don't know. I don't know what's really super valuable left. I don't know. We'll see. Black Orc Big Boss is going to work in here, and it looks like he's just cleaving through a lot of this infantry. Surprisingly, I mean, Black Orcs are certainly paying dues here. Well, I say that they only have 32 kills, but I mean they're taking on a lot of Dark Elf infantry right here. The Beastmaster. So if you are bringing the Beastmaster, I mean Kafta didn't bring it, but you can bring Stand Your Ground on the Beastmaster. And if it were me and I was playing the Beastmaster, I would have brought Stand Your Ground. I would have brought it over to that infantry fight and would have popped the Stand Your Ground. Because I think it would have helped a lot. An extra 30 melee defense is really helpful. But yeah, Rogue Idol doing work here. Sixth Path going strong. Supreme Sorceress going to get snared here. And attacked, I think, by the Goblin Shaman. Interesting. Spears coming over to support. That Rock Lobber is like, it's been online all game. Probably, yeah, it's got 2 chevrons now, 138 kills. And yeah, like I said, it was just punishing that blob super hard. And as Dark Elves, you always got to be mindful about getting shot. Like, your stuff's expensive. And he brought a pretty elite build. So let's see if the Beastmaster and the Chariots are able to sort of pull through late game. They are out of ammo though, and at some point they're going to have to kill this Rogue Idol. Rogue Idol is going into the Hydra. Now Hydra doesn't have the best leadership, and this isn't the ROR leader Hydra either. So if it does get surrounded, all of those penalties for like attacked in the back, attacked in the rear, they add up. Being shot by the Forest Goblin Spider Riders, that's a leadership penalty, and so he's just going to break off. Damaged by artillery from the rock lobbers. So yeah, just Six Path just stacking leadership debuffs on the Hydra and getting it to break. And I think that's it for Kafta. I'm gonna fast forward here, but you got some Chariot play, but I think the Rogue Idol is gonna put a beat down on pretty much everything. The Goblin Spider Rider is gonna be used right away here to muck stuff up. I think we got a little fixing going on with the snares from the Goblin Caster. And that's it. So down goes Kafta, and Six Path with the W. Six Path's been playing a lot. He's been practicing, and he's starting to beat some quality players, and climb up the leaderboard there. He was never a bad player, but I do think he's gotten better, and he's a good player now, just straight up. All right, so what else? I was working my way up here. So we got Dowie versus yeah, I did those ones. I didn't do this one. Greenskins versus Tomb King. Okay, Shaman versus Arkan. All right. Oh, it's against Kafka again. I wonder if they were practicing with each other, or if they just happened to be playing quick battle at the same time and they bumped into each other. Sometimes you get dry spells on the ladder, and you end up playing the same person a few times. So spears across the front. We got the big bad black boss, the river troll hag this time. Rocket purple sun, the puke, the spirit leech, all that jazz. Spider riders off to the side. More on the other side. We got Archon, some spiders, Ushapti, and archers in the back. Spears, yada yada. You know the deal. Archon's going to be looking to drop some summons, probably. I'm guessing he has the blade. He does. The Scorpions are going to try and mess up the infantry, and the archers are going to try and screen out the gobos. The Nehakar horsemen, I think, are going to be the most important unit to watch here, because they are going to be responsible for keeping stuff off of the Ushapti great bows and also off of the archers, in my opinion. If they get compromised, I think these the Spider Riders are going to be a lot to deal with for Tomb King, because they don't have the best mobility in the game, and it could be, yeah, tricky. We'll see. All right, Great Goblin Shaman going in here. So with the reworks to WoG, it works much better for the Great Goblin Shaman now. Before, you used to have your Lord in melee for the WoG to proc. You no longer have to do that, and that makes the Great Goblin Shaman just so much more viable. He might be the best Greenskin Lord. He's certainly up there. We got Gorgle Fix It and Vindictive Glare. So very simple kit. Vindictive Glare will give him an option to snipe heroes, and look at that damage on Arc on the Black right off the start. I love that choice from the Greenskins. Would it be cool if Tomb King had a 400 gold skirmish cav that wear large scarabs, so kind of like the dire wolves and stuff? Yeah, I'd be down with that. Yeah, like a light cav. I think right now their fastest unit is the Carrion, but those are air, and I think they just serve a functionally different role. I think they wanted, like the way CA designed Tomb King, they wanted to sort of force them to be one of the slower factions. Like you look at the way they designed Vampire Coast, it's along the same lines. Like Vampire Coast, okay, if they gave Vampire Coast like dire wolves, right? So you can say, okay, dire wolves are fast, but the stuff that's supposed to follow up the damage to the dire wolves is all slow. Like the rotting Prometheans and all that kind of stuff is slow. So the dire wolves can tag stuff, but they usually can't follow up with damage. Tomb Kings, they do have mid to high tier cavalry that's like, it's not turbo, but it's in the 70 sort of movement range. I mean, it's faster than the crabs. So if they did have like a light sort of unit, like the dire wolves, or the scurvy dogs, or whatever they call them, I mean, it's the same thing, then they would actually be able to run some pretty strong cavalry builds. Right now they don't really have that option. I mean, the Hakara horsemen, they're, what are they, like 70, 80? Well, 80 speed is nothing to like snub your nose at. 80 speed is fast. It's not going to be able to catch these like Forest Goblin Spider Riders if they have poison on them, but it's still really fast. I don't know. I mean, I guess you could screen like the Nehakara horsemen. Sorry, not the Nehakara. What are the Necropolis Knights with the Nehakara horsemen, or with these guys, whatever these guys are, 80 speed. You could screen them with that, but it would be pretty expensive. And it's certainly not. I think these guys, the Nehakara horsemen, are about 650 gold, so they're not throwaway units. Let's see this Vindictive Glare. Man, that is causing so much problems for the Tomb Kings. I mean, if they lose their leadership, it's going to be super rough for them. So really nice choice against the Tomb Kings from Sixth Path. I do think this is the reason why I don't consider the Tomb Kings to be like a super strong faction, because they're so vulnerable to Lord sniping. Unlike every other undead faction, they cannot heal their lords. You can say, okay, yeah, they get the Realm of Souls proc or whatever, but it's not the same. Look at these loons. I think they're killing their own units here. I don't know what happened with those loons, but they just shredded their own 2 units from what I can tell. And the hag got absolutely massacred. I think the shot the Great Bow killed her. It does say they're obstructed. I don't think that makes any sense. I don't know if they're trying to shoot at. I don't know what's obstructing them. They look completely open to me, but hey. But yeah, let's see if that next Vindictive Claire cast is going to finish off Arkan. There it goes. One of the shots clipped the hill. Arkan's going to hide in a unit of infantry. That is an option if you are getting repeatedly stopped, but I mean, Arkan, look, go hide in the woods. Hide behind a tree. You don't need to be out in the open here. You're not doing anything. What are you doing, Arkan? Just go hide. You know the goblin's trying to snipe you. He's shot 4 shots at you already. I mean, chances are he's going to try and shoot a 5th to finish the job when he has a chance. Bounce Bar is in favor of the Tomb King right now. I don't know if I've seen the Wog proc go off, but to be honest, there's not a lot of stuff that's going to be able to do anything in the Wog. It's all Goblin Spears. The only thing that's really going to be able to hit hard is the Ragnarok Queen, which is at the back, I guess being safe for late game. And then, yeah, so we got a lot of stuff online. There's another Vindictive Glare. So I don't know if you're keeping count, but Arkan's been getting hit by about 6 of these now. 5 or 6, which has been pretty much enough to tag him. He's very lucky that he's not crumbling at this point. He is wavering, and he only has 85 HP. So how he's not crumbling, I'm not sure. If anything even walks over to him, he'll probably just crumble to dust. But yeah, Black Orc Big Boss chasing after the Tomb Scorpion, going to work there. But the catastrophe for the front lines, I mean, there's no front line left. All the spears are gone. The Night Goblins killed themselves. You got a little bit of archers in reserve, and then the Ragnarok as well. So that Ragnarok Queen has got a lot of work to put in before this game's done. This guy's not going to fight, and he's used a lot of Winds of Magic. So what's going to kill the Tomb Kings? I don't know, man. Arkan, I think to get his Skelly Sums up, he has to be in melee to charge that. So by chipping down Arkan, not only are you taking a lot of the leadership sort of pressure like off, or you're close to taking out the leadership, but you're also denying him use of his blade, which needs to be in melee to charge. So he's not able to summon more skeletons, which is just less units that you need to fight. On the far flank, we got some Spider Riders kind of regrouping, and the Tomb Scorpion gets isolated here. I mean, at this point, Tomb King has so much stuff. All they got to do is like just be patient, pull these guys back, use the archers, push the spears, and keep this guy safe. And it's Tomb King's battle to lose, really. They got horseman, so many things that can do work, but this Tomb Scorpion, he's not getting the light of day here. The spears need to be rotating over there to help. I don't know, they're off Jason Goblins instead of helping out that Tomb Scorpion. Goblins are already getting run over by the Nahakar Horsemen, so I don't know where this unit's going, first of all. And the second unit, I don't think it needs to be over there either. These Nahakar Horsemen can kill the 19 Goblins, they can kill everything over here. Ragnarok's going to start taking some shots, though. We got 4 units of archers. This unit's not being positioned correctly, and it's just wasting time. It could be shooting the Ragnarok right now. Ragnarok is getting chipped down. That is pushing the bounce bar again. Spears are going to get over here. And then the Great Goblin Shaman not doing so great. He gets tagged by the Tomb Scorpion. So a little lapse there. I think the Big Boss, I don't know if you went to go chase the Nahakar Horseman. I think that was a lost cause. I would not have done that. And it looks like it cost him the Great Goblin Shaman. And now he's fully wrapped up by spears. So I think a couple mistakes on both sides in this game. It's going to be rough. It's going to be rough for Sixpath here to pull this back. We'll see how the Ragnarok does. I think the leadership shattered for the Greenskins. Is there any way that they can come back? I don't think so. I'm going to fast forward a little bit here, but I think Greenskins are just done. Big Boss is doing well, but he's fighting a whole unit of spears. I think Sixpath is probably conceded at this point. Or wait till it's official. And there it goes. So proof, Sixpath doesn't win every single game. And this one, yeah, Kafta pulled that one out. So nice job, Kafta. I always like seeing like back-to-back games between the same players, because sometimes, you just have a bad match or a bad game or whatever. Or maybe you're playing a faction you're less familiar with. So Kafka is showing that he still got it. He can win if he needs to. All right, where are we at now? Still, I really liked I liked six pass choice of the Great Goblin Shaman. You did see how much work he could do versus Archon. I think he needed a front line, man. He had no front line whatsoever. So like, I mean, if you lose the front line engagement to Tomb King, I think you're doing something wrong, man. If you get beat up by skelly warriors with spears, that can't happen. I know there's the two Tomb Scorpions there, but he did have the big boss that was able to secure that, and he could have, taken his turn killing each of the scorpions. So I don't think that was the issue. I think it was the fanatics killed themselves with their whirly whatevers, and then that was it. All right, so we're on to Mosh Pit Madness, featuring Spiffy, aka Alberic de Bordelot, against Blue Bamboo, playing the Lizardman. I have 2 cups. One of them contains coffee, the other does not. I missed on the first try, but practice makes perfect, and the coffee did find my lips. All right, so did I show this replay already? Okay. All right. No, I think we're good here. We're good. So we got hippos up in the air. We got pegs with the hippos. Bastillon, Mr. Mazdamundi, Bastillon number 2. So yeah, not uncommon to see double Bastillon builds against. As a Lizardman player, I've seen this a lot. Honestly, I don't think it's that good. I guess people like their artillery, and they feel like with 2 Bastillons, they can trade shots. But honestly, Stegodons are where it's at, man. If you want artillery, you just bring a Stegodon. Leave these clowns at home. The Bastillon solar engine, their line of fire is absolute garbage. I've seen them not be able to shoot because of microterrain so many times. Half the time they shoot into the ground. When they do connect, I mean, look, that did no damage whatsoever. Stegodons. Anyway, in the back, what do we have? Yeoman. They're going to get screened by Ripperdactyls. More Yeoman coming over here. I like what Spiffy's doing. Going really wide here. Getting the pressure on all flanks. Lizards are static, man. They're allowing themselves to get fully surrounded. That's usually a bad sign. Shots are going to go in here onto the Bastillon from the Yeoman archers, but the Yeoman don't have any AP, so it's probably not going to do much of anything, to be honest. The flyers are being kept in reserve, just not allowing these guys to shoot on them. And look at these. I mean, it's almost used half of its ammo now. What has it done? It's picked up maybe 200 value worth of killing foot squires, and that unit costs what, 1100? Same thing on this flank. Killed 200 gold worth of foot squires, maybe 300 now. I don't know. I just don't think it's worth it. I think the Yeoman. I would probably try and get the Yeoman on the cohort of Sotek or the Ripperdactyls if it were me. I think you're wasting your time shooting the Bastillon with those. They're just not going to do enough. I think Spiffy realized that. He switched targets onto the Sword of Spears. At least there they're connecting. But yeah, this guy has 140 armor. I mean, if you don't have AP, forget it. You just don't. You're wasting your ammo. Paladin going in here on Mr. Mazdamundi. That is a very nice spot for the Paladin to be in. He's going to follow that up with Men at Armor Polearms. Polearms, there's a 50% chance they're just going to tear her out, but hey, who's counted? Prophetess is there, giving, I guess, the Paladin a little bit of encouragement there. I'm not sure. Yeoman shooting some stuff down. Over here, got pegs that were able to make contact with the Ripperdactyls, and supporting fire from the Yeoman is going to further lower the leadership of those guys and get them off the field. So nice pickups there. Same story on the other flank. Ripperdactyls going into it with the Peg Knights. Peg Knights do have the anti-large bonus. Ripperdactyls only 7 or 8 models. The Ripperdactyls really want to be fighting infantry. They do have the bonus versus infantry. This is not their cup of tea going against Peg Knights in the air. So that's a big win for Spiffy. Ripperdactyls, they also have that Toad Rage, which is super nice, but it doesn't look like they were able to proc that, and they did lose that fight. Mazdamundi is still alive and well, though. He is here, surrounded by his Temple Guard. Temple Guard plus Mundi equals Death Ball equals just walk away. You're not going to kill that, in my opinion. You probably want to kite this and see if you can kill stuff elsewhere. So what else is going on? We've got Hippos going into Bastillodons, and Hippos going into Spears. think they're just trying to take this Bastillon off the field so that they don't have to deal with that annoying shooting anymore. Yeomen are screened out by the Legion of Chakwa, and they're dying, as you might expect. But I don't know if they got a charge in there, but yeah, I don't think they killed a single model, so that was rough. But this guy's going down. Over here, Paladin's fully surrounded by Temple Guard. He's going to have a hard time getting out of there unless the Hippogriffs are used to sort of clear some space, I guess. Or maybe these guys can be thrown into melee just to allow the Paladin to escape. But right now, fully surrounded by Temple Guard, taking a beating on all sides, but still on going in there, I think, to kind of terror route him. And yeah, there he goes. So rough. So the Paladin was given his all for the Prophetess of Life, but the Prophetess of Life gave absolutely nothing to the Paladin, I think. I mean, maybe she tried to heal him, but she's like, go get him, buddy, and then she's just sitting up here high and pretty. Not calling that a tactical error, just calling it a jerk move from the Prophetess. But yeah, here we go. Bastillion's off. One of the Bastillion's off the field. Other one is chasing after the Paladin, I guess. And yeah, I don't know about skirmishers against Lizardmen, especially non-AP skirmishers. I mean, what are you going to use the skirmishers for? Against skinks? Maybe. I mean, I know Lizardmen players do tend to run a lot of skinks. I don't know if skinks are meta in the matchup against Bretonnia. Honestly, I haven't played the Lizardmen versus Bretonnia matchup all that much. I'm proud of these men-at-arms, though. They're clearly outclassed by pretty much everything on the field here, but they're still going strong, even though they're losing. We are seeing, I think, a pocket heal from the Prophetess going on the Hippogriff Knights. We've got Curse of the Midnight Wind going down from something from Mazdamuni. Mazdamuni gets isolated from his Temple Guard and other things. He'll take a decent chunk of damage there from the Hippos, but not, I would say, not the maximum number of unit models in contact here. Oh, he's going to drop a filthy net on these guys. But it's not Overcast. He only tagged the Royal Peg Knights. If he had, I think maybe he was trying to click on the Royal Hippos and he just missed with that one. But if he were to hit on the Hippos, those Hippos would have been probably dead from all the spears and Temple Guard that were there. So I think maybe just a misclick there from the Lizardman player. Or he could have overcast it. Both of those would have been fantastic options. In the end, I think he hit the unit that mattered the least. But yeah. Okay, yeah, Skinks. Yeah, I could see Skinks being an issue for Bretonnia. They clear out Bretonian chaff very, very well. So maybe Skinks are in the meta against Bretonnia. Of course, Skinks are vulnerable as hell to Bretonian cavalry, though. So there is a bit of a trade-off there, right? But yeah, so not surprisingly, we are seeing sort of the Lizardmen resort to their death ball, whereas Bretonians are trying to look to sort of pick things apart, slip the gaps. The Hippos are pretty strong in terms of anti-large options. Whatever happened to that Paladin, by the way? Is he dead? I think he's dead. Probably you see his corpse over there somewhere. No, he's not. He's alive. Yay, Paladin. Go, go. He's fighting the Legion of Chakwa. So he wants to be over there, but he's over here. Yeah, you can't. If you're on foot, you don't get to choose your fights, right? You just fight where the fight is. But yeah, Mazdamuni getting surrounded here. I think it's starting to go in favor of Bretonnia. I do think he's able to. It looks like he was able to take the other Bastillon off the field. Oh no, not quite, but it's low. But Mazdamuni, he's fully surrounded here. Peg Knights and Hippos are chunking him down. He's losing decisively. Ward save's up. Oh, okay. Ward save gonna drop. Mundi gonna go low, doing the limbo. And can we call it? Can we call it? Liz is fighting to the very last here. And there he goes. Once Mundi drops, I think it's over. Hats off to the Paladin, man. He was in there for he was in there with the big dinos and just giving it his all. He deserves a medal. Or a little bit of attention from the lady. I'm not sure. Probably he liked number 2 better. Let's go on to the next game. I don't know. These things are garbage, I think. I mean, Surprisingly, these I don't know. I don't know. Yeah, it was an interesting army. I mean, I think the Flyers were the MVPs for Spiffy for sure, but he was able to bring like the flying squad because he didn't bring like a Lewinker or an Albrick or something like that. So he saved money on his Lord ish and spent it on the flying cavalry instead. All right. Still rolling through, still rolling through. I see you, Nameless. I see you. Keyboard worrying that. So let me just catch up on the chat here a little bit here. So run 2 range stags, 2 skink skirms, 2 chem skinks? Or chameleon skinks, 2 call 1 riders, source. Well, yes, pretty balanced build, I guess. I don't know. And skinks, yeah, I do agree that they beat most Bretonnian infantry. So next game, what do we got? What do we got? We did Mosh Pit Madness. Okay, now we're on to another game from Spiffy. He's playing with an ally named Murderer, a Skaven, and going up against Dark Elves and Dwarfs. Let's check that out. Alright, for the Skaven, we got Gorst. Oh, so it's a zombie summon spam. You do see it sometimes, not turn illegal, but I guess some people do it anyway. Oh, no, this guy doesn't have a... Oh no, that's the corpse cart. Do we have zombie summons? Actually, it is turn illegal, because this guy has zombie summons, but Gorst does not. He has the Graveguard summon, so it is a turn illegal build here from the vampires. And then we've got, oh my god, I've never seen this before, stacking a ton of warp lightning cannons on top of each other. So you have at one point where you can just like face mount something, I guess. That is hilarious. Look at that. They're actually able to kind of win the bull thrower just versus the bull thrower, just sheer numbers. So interesting Skaven tactic. I don't know. I mean, I think it's a sign of a rookie player, but hey, I won't judge until a very nice and fit lady sings. So we've got Varguy's going in here on the Thunderous. I think Spiffy maybe outpacing his ally a little bit here, but you know, as Vamps, it is kind of a rush faction. You can't sit back forever. Granted, with all these warp lightning cannons, maybe you can. I don't know, man. That's a lot. Look at the warp lightning cannons shredding Crone Hellebron. She lost half her HP already. But at some point, you got to protect this. And like one Manticore summon, they're going to probably shut down 3 of these guys. They got 2 Hell Pits in the back. That's hilarious. Slaanesh Harvesters are going to probably kill all 3 of them. They're going to get killed by the Hell Pit. Oh no, they have weakness of heart and they just ran away. I don't know, man. They could have shut down those warp lightning cannons. Probably routed the crews at the very least. Yeah, they'll lose some guys from the Hell Pits, but worth it to shut down 3 warp lightning cannons, I think. I would have gone in anyway, rightly or wrongly. Crypt Horrors, MVP units for the vampire counts, I think. They go in here, muck up the miners. Very nice place for them to be. So I think Spiffy's playing Vamps, so props to him on that engagement. And then over here, got Slayers going to rotate over there, try and deal with them. But they're late to the party. The Crypt Horrors hit first. Now the Slayers are rotating. The Crypt Horrors can rotate back to the other side now. And the Slayers got to chase them, right? So Skelly Warriors are going to shut down this Bolt Thrower. That's nice. Takes a little pressure off him. Gorst is... Oh, I think my system's crashing. Uh-oh. I'd give a second here. We're going to give a second. We're going to believe. Oh, that's a crash. How to reboot. Bear with me, guys. I'm sorry about that. It doesn't happen often. Thanks, Nameless. Sorry about the crash, by the way. That sucks. That was a good game. I was enjoying that. There was some surprises there. I'm afraid to play it again though, because if it crashed the first time, it might crash the second time. So I think I'm gonna skip over it. And apologies to Spiffy on that one. But from what I saw from your vampire play there, um, it was some nice stuff. You had a you had a nice build. It was cool to see Gorse. You don't see that often against anyone. He's not a bad lord either. Um, so yeah, looks like okay. Here's another one. He's playing Vampire Counts, so we'll get you in at least one Vampire Counts game. You're playing with another Vampire Counts player, Purple, and you're going against Skaven. Oh yeah, Skaven. This is fun. This should be good. So Skaven, this is an interesting matchup because Skaven, in theory, you think Skaven might run away from Vampire Counts because Spooky and Skaven low leadership, and so you're like, okay, so that matchup favors the Vampire Counts. Well, then you remember now Skaven has access to Council Guard, which is immune to psychology. You've got these Sensor Bears, which I think are unbreakable. You've got the Hell Pit Abomination, which is unbreakable. So you've got a lot of stuff that's just unbreakable. And the other stuff, you probably don't care if it runs away anyways. And then you've got like a solid amount of magic damage, shooting. And then, of course, these guys do magic damage as well. And the leadership debuff against Vampire Counts is super punishing. Because remember, most stuff on the Vampire Counts roster, sitting around like 40, 30 leadership. Once they take a bit of damage, if there's a flanked or whatever penalty, that's another 5 or 10. If they're taking some shots, they're going to be probably, like realistically, when they're in combat, they're sitting around 20 leadership. Just because of all random debuffs from just being in a fight. And then you bring these guys over with another 10 leadership debuff, and there's a good chance they're going to start crumbling right away. All right, so the P guy, he's got a Necromancer, Corpse Cart, Tergeist, another Necromancer. Yeah, so this guy is doing the zombie spam. He doesn't care about turn illegal. So he's got 3 copies of zombie summons, which gives him 21 zombie summons. And there go the first 2 of the zombie summons. We got Fellbats over here. We saw Helman Gorst last game. He is back in this game. Skaven very much up against the edge of the map, using that wall as a wall to protect themselves, so they have to put in little to no effort to protect their shooting. And they've got screens from the Plague Priest with the Clan Rat summons, I would imagine. No. Surprisingly, no. He just has the breath attack is just being used as a chariot mostly, I guess. Here come the Hex Race. It's the Warp Grinders. Bit of a risky play here because I think the Warp Grinders can just snare the Hex Race, and the Hex Race would die, I would imagine. Are they going to get Warp Ground? Yeah, Warp Grinders also have magic damage, so that is a ballsy play there from Spiffy. I certainly would not want to charge them into that, but looks like it came off okay. I thought these guys, don't they have a net? Or is that only the ROO? Yeah, they do. Like, they just didn't use it? I was lucky. Over here, Corpse Card taking some shots from the Warp Lightning Cannon. 2 Warp Lightning Cannons in the back here. Very effectively sniping out those Corpse Cards. And this guy's forgotten half of his army. He's got Crypt Ghouls in the back. And the Terrorgeist. So right now, I guess his plan of attack is just to send up his heroes, his Corpse Cards, and his zombies. And I guess he's okay with that. I don't know. But meanwhile, Spiffy is doing the real work over here with the Skelly Warriors coming up on the flank. Eshin Triads, Black Knights going into it. I guess the Black Knights are not going to want to be there for long. They're going to pull out, maybe touch and go rear charge on that far flank, but here comes Mr. Gorst, and he has not been sniped out by the Warp Lightning Cannons or by any of the Skaven nastiness. Meanwhile, Kelmer taking a ton of pressure here. The Teeth Breakers, Rattling Gunners are don't forget they have the snare effect, so it's making it very hard for him to move out of the way. Interestingly, there's also a Skaven Warlord. You very rarely see that, but I guess they figure against Vamps you don't have to worry about getting shot. And so yeah, I mean he's not a bad option. He's a fun pick for sure. Kemmler's got to be careful, man. He's crumbling, and if he goes, usually I mean the Vamps go. Leadership is so important on the Vampire accounts. He's going to run over here to the safety of his Necromancers. Necromancers also have Invocation of Hex. So he has 3 copies of Invocation of Heck, 3 copies of the summon. So his build is totally cheese. But we're gonna let it slide, I guess. This is a cool fight. You got a Terrorgeist getting pounded by a Hell Pit, Abomination, and Eshin Triad. So I think actually Spiffy is not getting a lot of help from his allies. Like I'm seeing a lot of bad engagements, and a lot of resources not being used, which is putting a lot of pressure on Spiffy. But Spiffy's holding it down here. It's pretty even. Mortis Engine is going to get into it, but Mortis Engine, it's going to do damage here. But these guys are unbreakable, right? So they're not going to get terror routed. Oh, sorry, immune to psychology. Yeah, so they're not going to get terror routed from the effect of the Mortis Engine. If it were me, maybe I would send the Mortis Engine over to these like Scave and Slay Spears and other things to try and break them quickly so you can get a full surround on the Plague Pack. But I don't know. It does do damage, not a lot of damage, but it does do damage, and it is an expensive unit, so I get it. We'll see. But yeah, I think it's magic damage on your Mortis Engine too, so I don't know. Warp Lightning Cannons are healthy. This flank has completely collapsed. There's been no pressure on the Warp Lightning Cannons the entire game. And now all of the shooting is currently rotating over to shoot in on Spiffy, where I think there was kind of an even engagement. I would say that Spiffy's ally lost his engagement. What you notice is he just basically conceded that side of the field and ran over towards Spiffy and brought his leadership and key resources there. But again, he's left the Crypt Ghouls behind. But still kind of an even matchup here. It's too early to call. We'll give the benefit of the doubt. But now Gorse is taking the beating from these Rattling Gunners. And so these guys have been a huge problem for both Spiffy and for Peter, whatever his name is. They've been sniping the crap out of the leadership. So something was needed to suppress these guys. And I think zombies are just not cutting it in this case. You got to get in range to be able to like cast it to suppress the shooting. And there's no speed on any of these guys. Like these guys are on corpse carts. They're not on a horse, so they can't like go over there with the horse, drop the zombie summon and leave. And there's no dire wolves and anything like that. So, it's a vampire camp crash poke. Okay, yeah, I don't know. So Hell Pit Abomination is now going to smash up Gorst, and I think I'm gonna call it, man. If Gorst dies, that's it. Somehow Gorst has decided to rally as he's being beat on by the Hell Pit Abomination and fully surrounded. I don't know how that works. I have to ask the devs on that one. Hey look, the Crypt Ghouls showed up, finally. Can they be the heroes that the vampires need? Zombies are being summoned over here, but the Warp Lightning Cannon is just shredding these necromancers. So definitely paid for themselves. That guy did not have a chance. Warlord's chasing the other necromancer to the ends of the earth. And, you know, can the Crypt Ghouls pull it out here? Crypt Ghouls on Poison Wind Globadiers, that's a good spot for them to be in. On these ones as well. Rat Ogres are going to try and lock them up. And they probably will, because they are balled up a little bit here. We'll see. But here comes another unit of Plague Monk Sensivaires. And this has been a grind out fight. Like, man. It's been a long one, but I do think Gorse, who is like Mr. Grinded Out himself, he's on the ropes. He's still kicking though. He's still kicking. I'm super impressed with Gorse here. Super impressed. Good job, buddy. Meanwhile, Heinrich Kemmler is playing in a unit of Council Guard, which is literally probably the worst place on the map for him to be. Other than maybe being hit by a Hell Pit. I don't know. It's pretty bad. Let's just put it that way. I think the Terrorgeist might be coming over there to do a breath attack and maybe free some space for no. I don't know. Kemmler is tanky though. Kemmler's tanky. He's lasting a while, but eventually the Council Guard are going to kill him. I mean, that's oof. But I guess P has been busy. He did shut down the Warp Lightning Cannons, so that's good for him. Like, and that's important. This one is wavering. This one's actually broken, and the Warlord is sitting in a unit of zombies. So that, you know, it took him a while, but he did get there. He did shut down that Warp Lightning Cannon, so props to him on that. But yeah, I think that was it for Mr. Gorst. Valiant play, man. I love to see him get some play. He is a very unpopular vampire lord. There's better lords out there, but he's not bad. He's not bad. He's just not great. So yeah, cool to see. ARM clan. I've never heard of the ARM clan before. Is that a new thing, or have I just been away from the tournament scene for so long that I'm not up to date? Who knows? All right, so Lewin versus Alberic, Bretonia versus Bretonia, King Lewin, Leon Squirrel versus Alberic. Don't forget Spiffy is a Bretonian main, so my money is on Alberic, but you never know. You never know. Actually, looking at the bills, I think Spiffy could have a hard time, but maybe he's going to show me something I don't know about Bretonian Peg Knights. So here's how Spiffy could win this. If Lewin is on a flying mount, and these guys go after Lewin, and they kill him in the air, and that causes a leadership spike, and then the rest of the stuff can't win. If Lewin doesn't die in the air, like, okay, if he was going to go unsupported against Bretonia, he's better off running Lewin on horseback. Because right now, he's no support against the Bretonia player. Like, Bretonia is like a top-tier air faction. And Bretonia doesn't have great AP shooting. They only have Bretonian bowmen, right? So, like, that is a ballsy play right there. I mean, you got all this cav, right? And they're not going to be able to help you at all in this fight. So why run him on the hippo? Just put him on horseback and then let these guys help. So now he's got to kite this the whole game now, which is going to be a pain in the ass for him, I'm guessing. Meanwhile, these guys have got to try and win the ground fight before that happens. So he's going to dive in. Like, I mean, you knew Lewin was going to look for a ground unit to try and dive in. If I'm Spiffy, I'm delaying that infantry fight. Like, Lewin's going to come to you. The Cav's going to come to you. And all this crap's going to come to you. You just need to buy time to kill Lewin. So here's the thing: can Lewin get spiked out from these Peg Knights? Because if he doesn't, then he's going to heal. He's going to be a nuisance. But so far, so good. Alberic, he can buff the anti-large. Like, he does have an anti-large bonus to the stuff around him. So all those Peg Knights should be hitting harder than they normally do. These are the Royal Peg Knights too. 61 anti-large. Oof, that is a lot. They are doing work here. Lewin, oh, he's slipping the gap, though. That's dangerous. Is he going to get out here? Oh, he goes back and charges Alberic, though. That's, oh. I don't know, man. So this is big, though. Men-at-Arm polearms. Them being here, he's got two units of men-at-Arm polearms. That's what won this fight. And I think Lewin was like, I don't know, man. I think he needs to go find another place to play over here. But yeah, playing halberds didn't work out for him. He lost a lot of expensive cav. Here come the yeomen, but they're kind of late to the party. I mean, that was the major fight there. I think the game's over right now. Alberic's gonna chase Lewin off the field, board, whatever. And the expensive cav is dead. Like, the Grail Guardians are dead. So I don't know how Mr. Lewin's gonna pull it back. I'm gonna fast forward unless something changes, because I think it's just mop up from here on in. Does he have a heal though? That could be a. I don't think he has a heal. Alberic and the Paladin, so I don't think he can heal his Peg Knights. That is a potential weakness here. But yeah, look at this charge on the yeomen, just smashing them. Just smashing them. And like, Alberic is just putting on a clinic on how to beat the crap out of a Bretonian player in a mirror matchup. By the way, at some point, I'm kind of curious. I would sort of like to do a Knights of the Realm tournament. Where all the best Bretonian players in the realm get together and just bash it out, like kind of Arthurian style, and see who's the best Bretonian player. Yeah, it was cool. So maybe Alberic's the way to go in the matchup against a fellow Bretonian player. But yeah, I think that the Lord choice, unsupported in the air, it just forced him into a bad situation right off the start. If you are going to go with mostly ground forces, put your Lord on the ground. If you're going to go with mostly air forces, put your Lord in the air. At least if he's at risk of being good. Against the potential Alberic play, he certainly is. All right. Oh my goodness, we got another Gorst game? Six Path versus Norska. I'm loving this. Gorst is my man. He's my man. We got Banshee, Necromancer, so probably we'll see. Maybe the Necromancer is being used as a battery. Sometimes they just bring it for the Unholy Rods for extra wounds of magic. Maybe he's got more summons. Who knows? Going up against Diabolical Fiend, Norska. Prize pool? You want to do the Bretonnian thing? I say no prize pool. I'm sure we can get people if I advertise it. I know Ernest is a really strong Bretonnian player. He's a Bretonnian main. There's a guy named B who's a really strong Bretonnia player. We got Spiffy who plays Bretonnia. I know Tanker can play a really good Bretonnia as well. That's one of his favorite factions. So, off the top of my head, I can name like 4 really good Bretonnian players. And there's others out there, of course, as well. Pharaoh Manticore, 2 up in the air. We've got Skin Wolves, Marauder Horsemen, Tergeist, Fellbats, Banshees, and Necromancer. He does have Raised Dead, so I'm guessing there's, yeah, there. He's got the Graveguard. I don't think he has Raised Dead. I do think this is turning legal build. Alright, so we've got Skin Wolves. Armored Skin Wolves over here. Black Knights on the side. One Black Knights, Dire Wolves. Are they gonna make a play on the Skin Wolves? He is. He's gonna tag them with the Fellbats. Interesting. The Dire Wolves are gonna try Force Path out of there. I think they're gonna be okay. They do not have to worry about the Fellbats. Little cat and mouse here. The Marauders are gonna try and screen the Black Knights. Honestly, the Black Knights could just charge them. They're not braced, they're just infantry, and if these guys are running away, no big deal. You can just touch and go. But hey, these guys are going to try. Skin Wolves can countercharge that though, but they're sleeping. Kinda. Oh, they're going to get a rear charge though, so bit of a trade there. Bit of a trade. Banshee was being used nicely though. I think the Banshee was used to kind of maybe get those guys to ball up, and the fat rear charge came from the Black Knights, but I think the Skin Wolves got the last laugh on that one. But yeah, I don't know. The Black Knights, they're not the most expensive. Honestly, I love Black Knights. I think they are unsung heroes in the Vampire Counts roster. 700 gold, pretty tanky. They're very nice units. And great choice against Norska. So you got Marauders here. Other unit Marauders, they're both going to get tagged by these Black Knights. Look at this. They don't have great charge bonus, but they're going to lock them up. And yeah, that's pretty good, man. That's pretty good. That's 20% HP off unit Marauders. Almost cost them to break it away. Wolford going in here. The Tergeist in a rough spot here. The Skin Wolves, Famir, great weapons. Wolfric, honestly, I don't think this Tergeist is going to be able to pull out of here unless Wolfric literally knocks him out of the way and frees him from this. Otherwise, he's probably going to crumble down. Oh no, Wolfric like turned around and started attacking some zombies. I don't know what's happening. Wolfric's just got to finish off the Tergeist. The Tergeist is crumbling anyways. Here we have the most useless spell in the game. Possibly the Vampire. I don't know. That thing just doesn't work for me. And there it did absolutely nothing again. I know it was partly screened by the trees, but what's it called again? It's like the Gaze of Nagash, I think. I don't know. It's just too expensive. Black Knights over here were able to kill some Marauders. These Marauders are going in it with Graveguard. Graveguard, nice choice. I wonder how they trade versus Berserkers. Like Berserkers, high weapon strength, high melee attack, but they don't have like the AP, I guess, like that you might get from Marauder champions with great weapons. Graveguard do have pretty good armor. I wonder if they can just tank it. I'm not sure. Tergeist got a nice breath attack on Wolfric. Somehow it escaped. I don't know how it escaped, man. It looked like it was on death row, and I think like Wolfric just got distracted, man. Wolfric should have and could have finished this guy. Helm Gorst is getting pounded by Manticore. He's gonna try and pull some zombies up and then run back to them. And look at that Manticore, he's just whiffing. So juking him. Old man jukes on the Manticore. Just showing him the moves. Look, another juke right there. So Gorst is mostly escaping, and now the Manticore's tied up in the zombies. Oh no, it's a Graveguard. Oh yeah, he's summoned Graveguard. Oh wow. Yeah, it is Gorst. After all, he can summon Graveguard, not just zombies. So Graveguard are going to whack against the Manticore. Interesting. Armored Skill Wolves with chevrons to keep their leadership up, I guess. I like that. Going in on Gorst. And it looks like he's trying to goon the leadership, but this is your leadership gooner right here, Wolfric. If you want to goon leadership, this is the guy to do it. And he's taking a beating. Tergeist is healed up. And I guess he's just forcing the fight with Wolfric. Wolfric is close to breaking. Now I think it's probably game over. There's not much left on the field. Wolfric goes down. Everything else going to tear out. There's just two Manticores left and a Skin Wolf. And I'm calling it. I'm calling it. I fast forward because I don't trust my call, but I'm calling it. I think it's over for in favor of Six Path. I see the Manticores going at it, getting fully surrounded. Banshees, look at Banshee, takes no damage. There's something weird about the Banshees where they just don't take damage. I don't know if their hitbox is super small or, but I've seen them go up against, like, you know, Mazdamundi on Slock and all these other things. Like, you think they just get plowed against, and somehow they survive and, like, just stay alive. I don't really get it. Man, I like the idea of Gaze in the Gash, but they nerfed the crap out of it. At one time, they just nerfed all of the like missile spells like so hard to the point that it became useless. There was a time when I remember there was a Vindictive Glare sort of meta going around. Like the YouTubers were raging about how you could just get a bunch of cheap Night Goblin dudes with Vindictive Glare. They'd be stealth. They'd spit the Vindictive Glare, and then they could like one-shot things, and it would be like really unfun to play against. Maybe really fun to play as. I don't know. There's always two sides of that equation. But we got Six Path versus Swayze, by the way. There's always two sides to that equation, but I feel like everything just got hammered after that, and it kind of got... Yeah. And one of the few survivors of that crazy nerf was Fireball. I don't know how or why. But then over time, I think it's gotten a couple of nerfs on accuracy. So, yeah, I don't know. But I think the Vampire Counts needed it more than other factions. Other factions have shooting. The Vampire Counts do not. And that was the one spell the Vampire Counts had to kind of keep people honest with a little bit of shooting. And it came at the cost of the Winds of Magic Pool, which they desperately need, by the way, for their zombie summons and other things, like for suppression and for heals and all of that other jazz. So it was, it was not something they could ever really spam. And it wasn't like it was a different scenario than the Night Goblins. They weren't like stealth characters that were just sniping you like out of nowhere, and there was no room for counterplay. I mean, you saw the Vamp Lord, you knew where he was, you could dodge it, you could, you could react to it, right? So. I never really understood that, but hey. Goblin Rocklobber going against Great Cannons. I would expect them to lose that. So far they're doing okay. There is a little bit of micro terrain here, but actually if I were the Goblobber, I would have set up right in here. There's a little bit of a divot here. You got kind of a fence. It looks cool. I don't know if the fence will do anything. Probably not, but psychologically it would feel nice, right? Like trench warfare, World War I style. And yeah, I guess it's a 2v1 here, but they're actually winning against a Great Cannon, which is like, it's shocking. I don't know what this other Great Cannon is. Oh, this is a Hellblaster. I haven't seen the Hellblaster shoot. What the hell is it? What's it doing? How is it losing to a Rocklobber? That is wrong. What is going on here? Oh, it's the Hellblaster. No, sorry, I'm thinking Hellfire. So the Hellblaster's not in range. Yeah, my mistake. They made those two names too similar. Pistoliers over here trading this other skirmishers. We got Knights of the Blazing Sun, more skirmish play on the sides. Spear's gonna just screen that out. That's A-OK. Then we got the Rogue Idol. This is not the ROR one. It does not have the ability to chuck any rocks or do anything crazy. It just has the ability to be the big green Hulk, basically. Like Marvel's the Hulk, this is the Greenskins version of that, I guess. Except he doesn't transform into the Hulk, like, what is it, Banner? Fred Banner? I don't know what his name is. That could be kind of cool. If he starts out as like a nerdy goblin scientist or something, and then he gets mad, and then he transforms into the Rogue Idol. I'm totally totally ripping off Marvel there. That's the Blazing Sun. They're going to get snared. And these Warlord Birds are going to go after them, but the snare's going to wear off before they can even make contact. So a bit of a waste there, I guess. I don't know. But it is buying all the time. Deaf Creepers. I wonder if the Deaf Creepers could fight the Pistoliers in combat. We're looking at melee attack of 20 and 14. These guys got 29 or 20 and 29. Yeah. They got the same number of unit models. They got poison. These guys should be able to kill the Pistoliers. Like, if they can touch them in combat, and there they go. They're going to go right into melee, I think, and just try and kill them. I think they'll win that. So very nice nice decision there from 6-path. Greenskin Light Cav is the real deal. You have to respect that. Pistoliers are not slouches either, but yeah. Grimgore Ironheart could have gotten netted. Orc Boss getting netted as well, but Grimgore is actually kind of in the trees, so maybe a little bit too early of a net there from the Empire player. A bit too hasty. Marcus Wolfheart, I think I'm trying to shoot down the Black Orc Big Boss first, but it's not AP shooting. These are huntsmen, man, regular archers. And this guy's got he's got like 110, 100 and something armor, 110 armor with a silver shield. Like, he's gonna shrug most of those shots, no problems. Hellblaster Volleygun, he's now taking the hits from both of the Goblin Rock Lobbers. This great cannon was able to rally and come back online. Skulkers in here with the Knights of the Blazing Sun. That's a great spot for the Skulkers to be. Goblin Spears, they're gone. They're gone, but they gave some bodies. They bought a little bit of time. And Skulkers, I do think, are going to be able to make that a cost-effective fight. Over here, the flank is collapsed. So again, from 6-path, we're not really seeing any sort of heavy... Oh, I take it back. There's the heavy infantry, but they came really late to the fight. Yeah, they're late. I mean, it took 30% of the damage on Grimgore. But let's check. So the ammo situation, it's not like they waited until the ammo was down on the artillery. I don't know where this Hellblast is going. Maybe he's trying to get in range of the Goblin Rock Lobbers. Maybe it's had enough. I'm not sure. Looking dicey for the Greenskins right now, I have to say. Let's see if the Rogue Idol can pull it back, though. Sometimes it's not numbers, it's quality, right? Let's see if the Rogue Idol can do it. You got Black Orcs and a Rogue Idol. There's going to be a tough pocket for the Empire to kill in melee. What I think the Empire should do is just walk away from this and shoot it as best as they can with all of their guns. And yeah. Wolf Riders. I like Wolf Riders. They are underused, man. They're 300 gold for a unit with 90 speed. That is... I don't think any other faction can brag about that. I mean, that is fantastically good. People they like the poison from these Death Creepers so much, and the other Force Goblin Spider archers, that you always see the spiders. But don't sleep on the wolves. I've used the wolves, and they've been effective for me, and they've been a lot of fun too, for sure. So there was a shot from, speaking of missile spells, the Light Wizard just Shem's Burning Gaze into the Rogue Idol. And actually, I think it did do a solid chunk of damage there. The Rogue Idol's in tough here. I mean, you got all their shooting. But I think the shooting is they're shooting at these Force Goblin Spider Rider archers in the woods. Instead of trying to chip down this Rogue Idol. That's, in my opinion, that's a mistake. This guy's more important. I don't know. It's not AP shooting, but you get anti-large bonus with the Huntsman against the Rogue Idol. You don't get that anti-large bonus against Goblin Riders. Spurtus Riders, these guys don't cost much. They're a skirmish formation. They're in the woods. Like, it's just not worth it. I think Wolfheart just tried to pop something to the Rogue Idol, and I don't know what happened there, but his leadership just went back up. I guess he cancel casted it or something. He tried to run away from the Warlord boys, maybe. What a scrap, man. This is a dead even fight. Way too early to call. Rogue Idol's, he's getting chipped down, but he's just clapping on things. Look at his hands just go smash. I love that animation. That was great. He's taking shots from the Hellblaster though and crumbling. Down he goes. But that was fantastic. I loved watching that. He doesn't feel OP. He just feels cool. So I'm down. I'm always down with cool. Remember, Ironhide gonna try and avenge Mr. Rogue Idol. Marcus has not been able to escape the Night Goblins. Night Goblins, are these the ones with... Okay, so these ones don't have poison, so they're not going to apply any snare effect on Marcus. But they do have AP, so they're going to do some damage. Man, what a scrap. What a scrap. Greenskin's trying to pull it back, though. Grimgore on Marcus. I mean, Marcus got to run like hell, man. I don't know what he's doing still there. I know he was full surrounded, but... Ooh, that is rough. There he goes. Grimgore not able to finish the job, though. He gets screened out by the Goblin archers. And Godblabber still shooting in here. We got all these wavering spearmen. If there was anything that caused terror right now, all of them would be gone. There is not though. The rogue idol is dead, but there's no fighting power left. So these black orcs have carried the day. I think they just killed all this chaff infantry from the Empire. Like they kill spearmen for days, as long as they aren't shot. Look at them, 140 kills and climbing, 2 chevrons. They just killed everything. So don't sleep on black orcs. They're the real deal. Grimgore with the big splash. It's over. Six Path has won this. Congrats to Six Path. Next game, please. Swayze had a big advantage at the start there, but I think he got distracted, didn't finish off the rogue idol fast enough, and he didn't have an answer to the black orcs. He, like no AP shooting. Pistoliers don't have AP shooting. Archers don't have AP shooting. Huntsmen don't have. All his AP shooting was in his cannons, but the cannons kind of like once there was a big mosh pit in the middle, the cannons don't have the accuracy to kind of pick out what they need to pick at. All right. Cool to see Grimgore find his target there. All right, we got Hiles versus Vampire Counts. So seen a lot of Dwarf. Seen a lot of Vampire Counts today. Oh man. Arcane Phoenix. This is a regular High Elf Prince, I think. Or is that Tyrion? That's probably Tyrion. Yeah, it's Tyrion. Mage and... yeah, this is the Arcane Phoenix. So what do we have in this? Mage, Burning Head, Fireball. In the back, some archers. We got the Silver Helms. I think it was Dav who was hyping up the Silver Helms because he feels like people had forgotten about that unit. So maybe Six Path saw that video and wanted to give it a go. We got Chill Guys over here. Blood Knights. I love Chill Guys. I think they're the best. Yeah, maybe the best unit on the Vampire Counts roster. I often bring them when I play Vampire Counts. That said, lately I've been transitioning over to more Crypt Horror heavy playstyle because they are so damn expensive. But man, when they're used properly, I think they're worth every penny. But you do have to babysit them. They're 1900 gold. So Arcane Phoenix, let's see what he does. Early cast here, gonna go off the Stearnsman. Stearnsman are mostly gonna dodge that. They take a little bit of token damage, but don't forget this unit has regen, right? So before the front lines even hit, they'll probably be back to full health. I don't think it's worth it, personally. I know he does have fire. I don't know if that Vortex is considered for like a fire damage type of spell. Maybe that was Six Path's thinking, like if it's fire damage, weakness to fire because regen. Maybe that's why he went for it, but like judging from the results there, it doesn't seem worth it. We got Fireball going in on Manfred. Manfred, I don't know, he's lost his damn mind to try and fight Tyrion with the Firecaster there. I mean, this is insane. But he comes to his senses, screens out with the Crypt Horror as it falls back. Meanwhile, the Fell Bats are getting wrecked. So here's the thing. High Elves now have access to like a decent amount of fire damage, which for Vamps is a big problem because that is a hard counter to Crypt Horrors. And I was playing a game against Menace last night, and he kind of did like a variation of this versus me. He brought Fireborn, he brought the Talons of whatever, Torcolida, he brought Imric, and I had like sort of a couple of units in my roster that had regen, and they got smashed, just smashed. And he dominated me that game. And I was like, man, are Vampire Counts just not viable against like High Elves anymore? Because like half the stuff on their roster has regen. All the stuff that's important and that's actually going to win you the game, like pretty much has regen. Like your Vargos and your Crypt Horrors and your Lords and Heroes. I mean, you're not winning it with your zombies. It's like, crap, how am I going to win this? The Black Knights, their melee attack is so low. So they had a really hard time landing hits against the Fireborn. Of course, High Elves can also just bring a ton of spears. So it was like scratching my head on that one. But I did have some success with the Blood Knights against them. Granted, I brought a lot of Blood Knights. But Blood Knights do have anti-large. And High Elves, lately, they've been winning a lot with their large. I mean, they have shooting, of course. But usually it's just token shooting. And it's more there to annoy you and force you to engage rather than to actually win. what usually wins it for the High Elves, at least in my experience lately, is these like monsters like the Arcane Phoenix, the Dragons, the Cavalry. I mean, that's what really usually carries the High Elves. So we got a big sort of blobberama going on here with the vampires. They are really tagged up here. Tyrion's totally in his element. He's going to charge his Sunfang. He's going to rip a fat breath across the front there. Arcane Phoenix popping a vicious whatever poop, I guess. I don't know what else to call that. On the zombies over here, going to tag 4 units. Silverhelms, they're getting mucked up by Manfred. I think they tried for a charge there, but it seemed a little awkward to me. And the chill guys are being screened out by chaff and shooting, and they are beginning to crumble. So again, it's a 1900 gold unit. That's just, it's fantastic when it's in the right situation, but if it's not, it can cost you the game. That unit's almost like a victory condition for the vampire accounts, because if it's on the field, you have the mobility advantage, period. It's one of the fastest units in the game, and it's got that chill effect, chilling aura, right? Minus 36% speed. So even if something has 110 speed, the minus 36% speed debuff, if you're able to put it over that, it's gonna make them faster than whatever else it is you're going against. Oh, look at that Sunfang. That's just unfair. They could just smash like 4 units. Granted, I mean, it is to punish blobbing, and the vampire player was blobbing there, so hey. But I mean, High Elves just have so many ways of picking you apart with the shooting, with the monsters, and to kill the monsters like an Arcane Phoenix, it almost makes you feel like you do need to blob. So I get why the Vampire Accounts player sort of felt compelled to do that, perhaps, because it takes a lot to bring down an Arcane Phoenix or a Tyrion or whatever, right? You're not going to do it with just one unit, in all likelihood. But then if you do ball up, then you're going to get hit with vortex spells like the Sunfang or whatever the Arcane Phoenix has. So it's kind of a damned if you do, damned if you don't. I know there's better ways of playing it, but I'm calling this one for 6-path. I think it's just a formality now to kill the Necromancer and watch this stuff sort of degen out. Silver and Guard losing here. I don't know about the Silver and Guard versus Vampire Counts. I guess it's not bad. But honestly, regular Spears or Phoenix Guard, I feel like they do the job too, but I don't know. This one picked up a Chevron. Fine. Yeah, I'm not going to dwell on that one right now. I think the High Elves are... I don't want to take anything away from 6-path. I think the High Elves are like beyond in a good place in terms of competitive balance. And if I see a game with High Elves, I'm assuming they're winning. Like, unless something drastic happens. Otter is Tomb Kings. I don't think that's me. Look. I don't think that's me. Someone else is named Otter? That's crazy. My tag is Wyatt Otter. I haven't changed it in years, so I don't know who's impersonating me. So let's see. 6-path over here. Got Malice and Canard Assassin. Sorceress of Death. You got Dark Riders both sides going around. Dark Shards. I'm liking what I see out of 6-path. Honestly, I really like the Bowl Throwers in the matchup against Tomb Kings. And the Fire Sorceress as well for Fireballs, if you're playing competitively. Sometimes you just bring what you want to bring. Spirit Leaf is also a good option against Tomb King. For the same reason that Fireball is a good option against Tomb King. You can just snipe out leadership and they can't do much about it. So it puts them on a timer, gives them a lot of pressure. Uh-oh, sleeping here a little bit. Necro Knights with Halberds are going to dice these guys up. These guys need to get out ASAP. The Retreat Hoarder has been issued, and they are going to try and get away to safety. The Black Dragon going to go over there. Maybe this was bait. Maybe he's going to try and hit them with both the Dark Riders and pop a fat Dragon Breath on them. I could dig it. Oh no, he's going in. He's going in to anti-large Necro Knights with Halberds with his Dragon. Brave play, but I guess he's got the Dread Spears nearby, so he figures these guys aren't going to want to stick to fight. Fair enough, 6-path. Fair enough. I see what you did there. Such the Imperishable is looking for an opening here, but getting screened up by the Assassin. Assassin going to take some pot shots here. Assassin's really good against big things like this. Yes, he can get bumped around, but it's hard for these guys to just like straight groon him because his mass is so low. You see there, he didn't even take any damage. Like, he just got knocked for some reason. Like a high school prom. And that's it. And Meanwhile, this guy's being shot as he's trying to hit the assassin. Like, the assassin? It took maybe 50 damage there. Meanwhile, how much damage does Cetra take from the Dark Shards? Is it worth it? You be the judge. I don't know. I don't think so. But he smashed this unit of Dark Shards pretty well. Terrified. So that's better. Maybe go after the Dark Shards with Cetra instead of the Assassin. Cool to see Malice on foot again. I struggle with Malice on foot. I've tried it. Yeah, I guess there's other otters. I guess I'm not the first person in the world to come up with that name. I'm not that original. Oh well. I'll live with it. There's the Jet Spears over here. And the Necro Knights. Ooh, nice charge there from the Chariots, getting a rear charge on the Jet Spears because they were about to make contact with these guys. And these shooters are still online. Shoot us. Tomb Prince getting smashed. Dark Shards shooting him. Assassin, no doubt, gave him some business. And of course, the Spirit Leech. I saw that going in on him earlier. So if you are choosing between Spirit Leeching a Tomb Prince or like a Cetra on a big mount, Spirit Leech the Tomb Prince, because he has a much smaller HP pool. I know this is the Lord, and you want the bonuses for killing the Lord, but like on the big Necro Sphinx, it's gonna just cost you so many Winds of Magic. You got Dark Shards and other things that can chip that down. Save your Winds of Magic for things with like a smaller HP pool, like a Tomb Prince is better. I mean, if you got no other option, it's not bad to use it on Cetra. Don't get me wrong. I think there goes the Spirit Leech right there, or something. I don't know what that is, but I think that was from the Assassin. Actually, it's probably like a melee attack, defense debuff. Black Dragon getting hit pretty hard here. He's gonna try and roast some Kepler Guard. Kepler Guard's the one that can heal. They have regen. So what matters, I think, is how many unit models you kill. You kill about 20. It's pretty good. Kepler Guard is you want to kill as much dollar value of your opponent. I mean, usually, and this unit's more expensive than the Skelly Archers with the Spears, so why not, right? Why not? The Chariots are causing some issues in the back line, but the Dark Riders, I think the Dark Riders, maybe they should shut down the Chariot play first before, well, I don't know, that's Blessed Legion. They have AP shooting. I think that's I want to say like 600 to 900 gold unit, but I'm not sure. Malice is really healthy though, and late game he could be an issue for Tomb Kings. Don't forget, like, he's still got his Zarkon pop. I think Dark Elves are in a really good spot right now. Like, if I had to choose if I want to be Tomb King or Dark Elf at this point, I want to be Dark Elf. You got Black Dragon on the field, you got your Assassin, you got Malice, you got most of your infantry is attacked. These Necro Knights are a bit of an issue. Jet Spears are trying to get over there and do some damage on them. The Dark Riders are being used to pin them, but how much time are the Jet Spears going to have before the Dark Riders break? Is it enough? I mean, they're starting to waver. Yeah. Both Dark Riders broke. These guys wavering. I don't know. It's atrocious. Both players doing what they need to do, I guess. But the Dread Spears are gonna take that fight. Yeah. So that's a win for the Dark Elves over there. Don't sleep on that engagement. That was a big one because now there's no real mobile anti-large left on the Tomb King roster, which, I mean, if the dragon doesn't get screened up by shooting, then it should be able to do kind of what it wants. I think this guy's got to just chill for a little bit. Yeah, there he goes. So once some of the shooting is off the field, either they waste their ammo or they get killed, that's when you can bring the dragon back. But right now, I think Malice, the Assassin, they got to take some damage, do some work. They're certainly more than capable of killing pretty much everything here. So I think this one's done. I'm going to fast forward. I don't see any way Tomb King can come back in this. I think the only reason it's remotely close is because Cetra's pulling the balance bar really soon. Yeah, I'm down to play Nameless. I don't know if tonight is going to be the night for that because I just probably did 2 hours of casting. So I might need a break after this, but we'll see. And yeah, I don't know. Props to the Tomb King player. I mean, they're grinding it out to the last. But look at that Zarkon pop. That's going to shift the balance bar. He's going to be able to clean things up. And the assassin, just such a big issue for Cetra, man. Everywhere she goes, she's taking hits from the assassin. And of course, if she just charges into the assassin, all the dark shots going to shoot him. Six Path doing a really good job of always keeping the assassin in that center pocket of where the dark shards were shooting. So this Otter guy, he needed more stuff that could shut down the dark shards. I think he needed to go a bit wider. 2 units of the Necro Knights is pretty all in on Necro Knights. One is I think where it's at. Yeah, I mean, you got Tomb Prince as well, right? Tomb Prince plus 2 Necro Knights. That's a lot of anti-large. You got 3 units of spears. You got shooting. I mean, it's a lot of anti-large, but I mean, he didn't have anything for the dark shots, I think. So yeah. Sorry, dude. Where are we at now? Where are we at? Crutchin. All right, we got 2 matches left, guys. The marathon is almost over. Dwarfs versus Dwarfs. Nerdfish, triple cannon. Going up against a rush build with gyros and mid-range shooting. All right. So this is the old school dwarf. This is the new school dwarf, kind of. Long beards versus not quite long beards. Coilers, I think. No, Rangers, Bugman Rangers. These guys got regen. Oh, the map is doing him some favors too. Look at this. He's got big woods over here. I guess he was hoping to wrap around here. This dwarf player knows what's up. If he's got the artillery, he wants to be as far away from that flank as he can. But there's still a lot of trees on the approach up here, and that's going to give a pretty good screen for Six Path as he comes in here. What this guy wants is he wants the dwarf player to kind of come right in here, and instead Six Path's going to come right in here, I guess. I'm going to fast forward because not a whole lot happening at the start. It's just this guy rotating over, and Six Path is going to look to pick some stuff here and there. Gyro Bomber. Neat. He's got suppression, I think, right? Missile strength is pretty high. I don't know if he can snipe out those gyrocopters very effectively. I don't really... Skelly Archers need to counterfire dark shards. I agree. They can do that. They have more range. They're cheaper. Dark shards did have shields, though, on the ones that Six Path brought, but probably it's still cost effective for the Skellies. So it's a dwarf matchup, so you always have to watch it in quadruple speed if it's anything dwarf, because then it just feels like normal speed, because dwarves are slow as hell. But here they go, moving at normal speed into another army at normal speed. You got... Oh, wait a second. Gyro bombers, 4 gyro bombers. Wait, did I say this was old school dwarf? Because that is not old school dwarf. I did not expect 4 gyro bombers, and I don't know how I did not see that on the load screen. You'd think I would have noticed that. I thought the armies looked a little thin, but man, I must be tired. So the gyro bombers, I think they're being used to screen up the gyrocopters. I don't know, a lot of craziness here. Belagar being shot. Oh, he's being shot by the gyro bombers. But I think it's mostly like... Oh yeah, they're doing work. Look at them chomp down Belagar. I know it's 4 gyro bombers and they're super expensive units, but... Wow, Belagar. He is having a bad day, but here come the flames. The fires burn hot. Iron Drakes against Slow-Ass Dwarfs. That's 1 volley into Longbeards, 20% HP. I guess these guys are shooting in the back too. I mean, it's crazy. These guys are trying to kill the cannons, I think, but they're taking shots from the gyro bombers. Man, what a nuts fight. I've never seen a matchup like this. This is truly different. Iron Drake's shooting in at the Longbeards. Longbeards need to push up. I don't know what they're sitting back waiting for. They're not going to be there for long. These guys are pushing. Dwarf Warriors know what's up. These guys are a little tight though. I think their range, they got spread out a little bit. Use that range a bit more. But still, I guess if he dies here, there's still these guys shoot, these guys shoot. So even if you do push that center pocket, it's gonna be rough. Man, so many guns. So I mean, it's a full full route pretty much for this dwarf guy. Whoever that is, this lord is not in the right place. He's got two v. You never want a 2v1 situation. 2 heroes against 1 hero. Even shitty heroes are usually going to win that. So it's all on the gyro bombers now. Can they carry? I don't know. I don't. They got like about 50% of their ammo left. That's cool. Alright, the dwarf lord has come to his senses and he is fleeing. He's being shot as he flees, but not the worst. These longbeards they're just getting wrecked again and again from the fire. I mean, he's not had an answer to the Iron Drakes with the fire. This guy's down to 8 models, but they are melting. Oh my god. 42 kills on longbeards though. 48 kills. I mean, they pay for themselves. Sure. How many models are in it? So normally it's 75. So if you kill 48, you've killed more than half a unit of longbeards. And usually once you take any unit to below half health, they're going to start routing. Like to below half their unit health, I think they're going to start routing. And again, I think there's a leadership debuff, yeah, from the fire. So even longbeards, which are pretty stalwart and tend to have very high leadership, that minus 16, it kind of puts them in their place. Like it just roasts the beards right off their faces. So yeah, Six Path, yeah, he's really showcasing what these Iron Drakes can do. We saw him bring them in the game against Nameless, and now he's bringing them against Dowie, and you know, having much the same effect. Gyro Bomber is now being desperately thrown into melee, but I imagine that's not where they're best used. I think that Six Path has claimed the field and is now running over the Dwarven artillery, and then that is a surrender. Alright, Six Path. Good stuff, man. Good stuff. Very cool to see the dwarves played in different ways. The very last game, guys. I hope you enjoyed the cast. We're going to wrap it up with another one with Six Path versus Nano Cost, the Empire. I have been promised that Tanker is going to be sending me some replays over the next little while. He went on a bit of a marathon, so if and when I get those, I may cast those as well. But for now, this is it. So we got 2 Rat Ogres, kind of a balanced Skaven build, Plague Priest, Ashen Sorcerer, Queek. So this is very similar to the build that Six Path brought against Nameless. You got the Rat Ogres in the back, Ikshas, Triads. This is the ones that can do the Doppelganger, Death Runners, Plague Monks, and more Plague Monks. So he's got some pretty good AP anti-infantry options. Does he have enough anti-large? I mean, he's got the Rat Ogres, which are not like a dedicated anti-large, but give him some max. He's got the Buboes. Maybe. Buboes are going to push up, probably try and snipe out the artillery. That's where we often see those Jezzails used. 2 Hellstorm rocket batteries. Hellstorm is kind of, I don't know, man. Maybe if you're expecting Skaven artillery, but like I don't know. Maybe against the avalanche mortars and stuff, they'd be good. But like this guy's wasting his ammo right now. He's shooting Hellstorms into Skaven Safe Spears. So if I see that immediately, I think this is a bad player. Or that's rude. I should not say that, especially on a live stream. I should say a player that is learning. He's a new player, learning the ropes. That's what it is. Cough, cough. So I'm going to fast forward. I have a feeling that Six Path is going to roll this game if this guy is shooting into Skaven Slays. But I've been wrong before. We'll see. So Queek is going to screen out the Skirmish Cav. Skirmish Cav is getting plowed. Oh my god, my voice. Getting plowed from the Avalanche Mortars and from the Buboes. Empire player is happily camping in the edges in the corner of the map, pretty much. This is one of the worst maps, by the way. If I see this map, I usually just leave. Because look, you've got like basically like your deployment zone is on the edge of the map. You've got walls here, walls here. I mean, it's built for campers. So if you see iron sands, whatever, just leave. I think Six Path are going to win it anyways, but against a better player, it can be really rough. So let's see. Skaven Slaves coming up on the side here. I mean, he's rushing in there. I don't know if he even needs to. This guy's probably going to just shoot off his load on Skaven Slaves, but who knows? Now he's connecting with stuff that actually matters, though, kind of. Plague Monks. Well, the plague marks are fast on their feet though. They dodged a lot of shots. All right. Well, okay, we're gonna slow down here. Death runners are getting into our eyes with grenade launchers. If you're a good player, that should never happen. I know these guys are stealth, but these guys are faster. First of all, they're balled up, so the death runner should only be able to tag one unit at a time, and they shouldn't have the foot speed to catch either of them. So that's just a mismark. Over here we got the rat ogres going into Empire Knights. Again, the Empire Knights shouldn't get tagged by rat ogres, and they are, and so they're gone. Of course, there's Overwatch fire from the Giselles as well, which is helping the case for the Skaven. In the front line, we have the Lord, Karl Franz, getting bumper card, and he's about to get like old school assassinated, where you don't even have to go in the shadows. You just walk up to their face and cut it off, basically, with Queek. So, yeah, Queek definitely in his element there. Lord on foot versus Queek is delicious for Queek. Kind of lucky. You don't see Lords on foot too often, I think. But maybe against Skaven, that's the way to go. Some units that are sleeping a little bit here could definitely be doing some work. But hey, I guess he's more concerned about killing Karl Franz, which he's doing very effectively. And Karl Franz is dead, pretty much. Here comes a little Flamestorm, which is a lot of Winds of Magic to use against clan rats. But, I mean, if you got it, flaunt it, maybe. I don't know. Here come the Radogers, because I guess they don't know what else to do right now. They're trying to interrupt for the Boobos. Boobos, I don't think... I don't know what they're trying to shoot at right now. I think they're trying to snipe the Hellstorm. The Hellstorm's on the back end of a slope, so they're not making contact. I think the Radogers probably should have been used the force path, and they should have gone right through, just like this unit of Radogers is. That's perfect. So they're going to get in on the Hellstorm, shut that down. That's going to push the balance of power. Honestly, like... the Hellstorm shots are not even that important at this point in time. It's just really pushing the balance of power and getting the chain rats that you need. I don't think they should have been sent into this stuff over here. You could have brought the Plague Priest back to interrupt if you just wanted to clear up space for the Boobos, but Boobos don't have a lot of good targets left. I think the only thing left is probably the Bright Wizard. The Bright Wizard's I think low-ish on mana right now. So I'm cast a Flamestorm and maybe a Burning Hat or two. And yeah, I think it's a wrap, man. It's a wrap. I'm gonna fast forward. This is done. Karl Franz is in the back. He has no prayer of killing Queek. Everything's healthy. You got the Mortis engine, so nice. Good job, 6path. Thank you everyone for sending you the replays, for watching, continuing to support the channel. Always a pleasure. Take care and have a great night.